Matisa mirror me don't pa polafoko. Cry, you know, let's mirror polafoko. Once I've been on you. Onto now,
should not go back to contest.
The moment on the elected flag bearer, on one didn't call for the barbershop, into mini party honest to say miracles more, and never be determine where the party should go. They will not set party executive structure because they will be that. They will be that. What you can't say more omuti. General
secretary. Am I a useless general secretary?
That is the system on running on our own parallel executive structure. Into this time, I will be elected flag bearer and some way party executive. But my parallel structure require more powerful. That is what they are doing. They will run the campaign from Bawumia's office. That is what is going to happen.
Is to create the impression, the other one was loose and Alfredo had his way.
With the showdown attitude.
Body language and the reason why you change the record, you know. Any mistake, there will be fireworks.
Okay.
I was telling somebody and then this thing also happened. Now, all this while, you know, sessions of Ghanaians, blame chairman along the line said, sometimes we're very soft, is having his way, and so on and so forth. We are also human beings. Say, Kufuor continue to blame you all the time. You get to a point, you also want to show where power lies. Say me so I'm in charge. And by circumstance, you know, and I feel so 1 year luckier, and then he put it in a context. Can you use just 2 seconds? 2 seconds to demonstrate. One kasa on sa. But we all concluded,
but to demonstrate, what does it mean, Council? To demonstrate a dance. How do you demonstrate a dance?
How I saw it. How I saw it, and I said, now I say, make it or give it platform to or not highlight more on what they have specifically. For all along, maybe share from where I sit. I see, use the platform to advertise the various.
This is under pressure because in opposition, until we are here, where like first the Chief Justice is saying, Galamsey, I am worse, and he's not wrong. It's still I worse. And yet, no amount of intimidation will change the fact that the Galamsey ni say and Ghana importing fuel from Spain near Abroche $5 million worth of mineral water in the import. Starting that. Ye kunya ho. And Kufuor cancer. If you go to a boss with Takwa Pristia, Uni Valley or Boise, any idea, there are conditions that are very particular to mining areas. One here you back a cyanide, any mercury, no, a cradada. A man Kufuor baby cancer. Oh, they Kotakwani a boss on the Korea. Almost every year, be a rante Ube Busane Keshe boys, chemicals ne kumomo, ne juma wa. And Kaka to be better and a banco say a boase. And that you know how many me say ya me what me. Tema be a Valco or Honma, oh, Koya Galancy I heading. Because I knew you oh, Bible so me, Usika Yobenyan ve. What we need to do is at the end of Kufuor to start here and 1D1F no. This is what will power Mahama 24-hour economy. No, me think NDC for say no more priority. And I was sad. Say on mine here, go backward, and I go forward. I brody be yenti on to us. As we go to us, jobs near be creating no any NDC for the benyo na NPP for ni nyina Ghana. Gapoa, Valco, Gridco, GBC. One she companies akesi Ghana ye create or more employment for NDC there, NPP there. You must continue it. That is the only way we can safeguard the youth. Yes, I may say a bedroom may began a life expectancy rate to know. Or be a new 50 years near you. Yes, and Galam say, and home chemicals, mercury, cyanide, the Ekumien, and that Chief Justice Ekano.
Social media bloggers, you see, giving the politicians they worship those people on social media.
Yeah. More than
celebrities.
Yeah.
Celebrities as we speak. Yes.
I'm not to cameras near the animal to do that.
Yeah, and pay them for the work they are doing. And if we all don't speak, if Asofo Ankasa, Christian Council and Mekasa, Peace Council and Mem, and penny for him for Mekasa because now if we grab most of fire sort Libby, yeah, they matem. Now, someone some man can prem politicians in penny for leaders of political parties should speak against it and not embrace people who have that attitude. You do not embrace people. Nanu ya yeti NPP ni blogger bi. Fancy comedy. I like the way when he talks. So then it's but I know no crown the cats. Ask them no. You before fraud.
Exactly.
Nasa bibisa and it's all connected to the fact and focus at him. And he's arrested for that. Now we a flag bearer, now former flag bearer, Nebia. Fear. People will assume that you probably endorse that kind of talking.
Exactly.
Do yourself, you are not like that. One casa, one who Brasia Brussels, a total
it was wrong.
Absolutely. It doesn't take you to do that. You can call the guy. Ubet me a friend, but you could let the others
it could have been off camera behind the scenes, but to openly do that was an endorsement of insults.
Yes, meanwhile, Ebia a brand people were near them. But on the platform, and now I'm for that. And it's a and for own crown, what the mark said, we need to hold any party. Yes, men can't say no to my friend, man, if you say, oh, yeah, people need the oil, Bawumia, we need to honor. Men can't say friend, but we are no free, why be no friend?
Okay.
Why the other 4 candidates are more person or flag bearers? One more one, call him. Ebia ba kokra na de sika kotua yenim. How let me say? And all of them, whoever wants to be flag bearer of any political party for Christ's sake, should come out publicly and let people know this is not what we want. We cannot continue this. Let's speak our minds. If you are a blogger, speak your mind about issue, not insult. And yes, about what time. And I try to say, and I and I say campaign and why
things that we did internally that harmed us, and there were things that we did during governance that also harmed us. So those are the things I say pagan of watch or say as a party yanini that dear fum swatum. What I say. But you must have mind that chance because Ghanaians are going for NPP. But I know can say cocoa farmers on what to a soon or musu because you're that big time. When I say over 6,000 120, this is very, very wrong. You have a finance minister that came to lie to this line to me and so the gold exchange program it didn't help, and now they are admitting it. So NDC is doing so many wrong things, sir. Yeah, as a party, as NPP, what we need to do is let Ghanaians know, sir, this is what we did wrong, and Ghanaians are willing to bring us back. Because only on the NPP share what we've done with STEM schools. Okay, look at how now our credit system is being built up. Because now because of our the Ghana card that we have. What do I say? So there are a lot of good things that we did, but still in Kobe a few bad things. And then I cover a lot of the good things that we did. So for me, what we need to do is say, yeah, we see a pagan of watch or say, okay, yes, yeah, do be okay roads. We did a lot of roads more than NDC. I've done some by Hamburg sign on my what I say. So we have to just go back to Ghana and say, yes, yeah, talk to our base. Say, oh, okay, some of our base, which Ashanti region say. So if you look at the developments that went on through the whole nation comparatively, you know, and how strong we didn't do much. So that's the message that needs to go out. And you can't ask me check Ghana for, and I'm going to say yes, because they know what we can do. How many parties now? I'm making a community 80 schools in a day. Check, because they are messing the country up, and we need a flag bearer and a shadow government to be able to keep the country on its toes.
I say, CAA and NDC, they are messing now.
8 years now.
And I'm look I say dollar and I'm 13. So now yeah, when I'm in fire.
I know 11.
Sir, officially it's about 12 something on the streets about 13, 14. See, I'm when I'm in fire, maybe to Christmas, then you call about 20. Yeah, but fire say it should stabilize. And these are things that Ghanaians are crying about. Look at fuel cost. Ghanaians need NPP back, but they don't give us power if we are disillusioned. And Ghanaians are ready to give us power. So that is where I
concern. Several occasions said he does that as comic relief to release tension and relax the nominee involved. What come on several occasions? Say a woman after we bisa high tension questions, no the bakumbi abe from just relax, you feel at home. Say we are not enemies, you are brothers, and then also for you to be given the opportunity to let Ghanaians know where you are coming from, and also to identify with the people from where your root is. What may I say? He does that indirectly as a lawyer. No, he does that swiftly. It will be one say before become about some people, but we see them as irrelevant questions. To be fair to him, one say obisa relevant questions. So, and no na but the one or two ones now, me know you be feel say they don't focus on the ministry, then we say they are irrelevant. But also I explain, say there's an effect why he does that. He wants people to know, say, this particular person, how you know him, on this angle, so you should see him differently. In the
There's another side to the person.
Another twist of it, and to be honest to him, and that dance now, boy, people will investigate into that particular dance, and get to know that aspect also about culture and then region also. But I was so sad to say it ended up that way. I think leadership should speak to each other. That's our friction, our tension about between the majority and minority on the veteran side, we try to resolve it.
Now, if you are yes, as a mechanical say, open political party and Yakono or Africa, Titlu Ghana NPP. NDC baby, yes, a strong opposition. Now, among these 5 individuals, or more second. If you ask what they are, you see an omofa bakwa. The 10 sins of Honorable Ken Japan. Offer Dr. Bawumia, your 10 sins of Dr. Bawumia. So offer Dr. Dutuma on Papa no Ben Wasem now, the rep Wahan, or more yan and Wasem 10 at Tama Union this for Tama Ghana for. Mamma was to be away.
No, Monday may read it across our list.
No, the Mamma was to be Zabia for the benefit of the TF4. Dr. 10 sins of Dr. Bawumia, Ibn said. Almost say it is alleged. I'm so on kind of correct. I'm saying, no, Gogola, on a trum class.
And there are more NDC for Namu planting. It is one Namu planting, and the Mefanya issue. One I'm planting.
Make a cancer match,
one Namu planting, where any issue. At the said 2016, NDC for so MPP for the planting doom so as a word. One Namu planting.
It is American in and then one or more second at Trauma Ghana for. And never 5 Ayabo Mujina or Yabo Mudino, Umunya fantastic people. No two ways about that. But the better and Gomoye bottom down approach. And by this time, Gomo Shassier and Quasi and Pacho. There's a time I sent Gombo to me a Ginaso and as a common wabum, a CC party, no my party Nabaya Kondo, party Abaye Akonoma youth. Oshas Okas in me say, Sabi, may make catch on authority. Say, Omofa, I will be no pair, Dr. Bawumia, Kennedy Japan, you are Dutuma, Ominoba Yenny, any day ever born. Because as at now, we are talking about policies. On say, Menosha say on paper, MPP attractive, like Omokasa, but so Umumo say, Omonia Dumana, Ubumus assembly troka. What you say, she baby, Omodi Ghana, Ekoye. Omodi Ghana Koyama Ghana signed the chief 500 years. I am telling you this.
Hey!
Yes!
500 years.
Oh, yeah, man.
Based on what evidence?
Evidence. I made people here say yet a man 2016 year free NDC year free abayemo na dollar I say 382 pesos. 2024 amufra abayemo na dollar kwa akudu 17 cedis. Yet a man yebetena Ghana na ekom edi mabuna medu ba bia sebe na ye 101 e bia 100. So the format ni na say obi didi anopa awia na enyino ni bibiem. What you say? Yet your man ma sebe galam say the yanko so biem. Yet your man ma no mu be ye. Yet your man ma sebe education in the history of Ghana 2 years. Na me teacher na me child wo krasi. Afia 2 years in any textbooks. Take it from me. What you say? And the me say make any na na say Ghana for so and so as answer. Na emom no e mo hundemu but me two NPP effort. Say be say yenya productive opposition na. Omo suspend the way kakra. No mo kofom. No mo go see party no. Omni Ghana for nkasa. No mo pa Ghana for achew.
Okay.
What you say? Because you were education can be. Also also chair no say seven over in the educational sector. They born home modern. But economy. You have a time baby say, oh, what a solid team, a management team, economic team. You can't bluff, but not a form no any.
Equation I can the band there find S. Yeah, if you to find the S. Can Ken himself find the S?
I saw you.
S no one
Say us today. Say President Mahama. 1 million votes no. Okay, take here 8 years. Na 1.7 million votes no. It means find it. So by 16 years and I'm
8 years old.
That be President Mahama no 1 million no. Only 8 years will feel. Formula nini. Na yakra 9 says what bring 1.7 million.
Okay.
Not to the nearest thing. Not to the idea can take 16 years. Mo potata sa. X areas in Aberdeen or X moon. On the marble body, industrialization, they pragmatic leadership. That those attributes, the qualities of a leader that people are looking for.
Okay.
And Ghana, ya that chance,
okay.
And you see, if he's saying that, that means or not here, a community, sir. Obi man 11 o'clock, man, wabe juma. What one also I'm a break. Break rock or kids for fuba, Uncle Bium, or say China. Abrochi, juma 8 o'clock, late bear 1 minute, 2 minutes out. What to 15 minutes? Whisker the Anamoba. Late 15 minutes and above, what to half an hour. Into some clocking system no by minutes to her.
Okay.
10 o'clock.
Into all that them strategy is in the S now what the banner. So it means that he has already figured out the S.
Now I won't you pa. Obi already said question on you answer that.
Okay. That's true. That's true.
Okay. Yeah, said question. You answer no.
Okay. Dr. Jabo, I say S ni nimu ho e wo Canada Japan ho. And I'm waiting to find the S chrono. But they have already figured out how to find the S.
That be not the formula, Baba.
S ni there, and notice all share your brand now. You say a duchum factor, and X is the factor. And it's in Ipo bet me Anya X na barrier a duchum.
Oh, okay. The duchum factor equals X.
Yes, a duchum factor, and it stands for a lot. You know, to find X, you need a special character, which is a factor. And it's in a duchum factor, honor X no. You know, be to say I can't 9 pay. And also ewo. Na sa 9 no. Doctor ya said duchum and a binya sa 9 abesos. Amana bros. Yedi nim say 9 no. Na 9 you can equate to 1.7 million votes. And looking at certain it could equate to a lot of votes. But what you say? And looking at Ghana politics, the dynamism, no. Oshomwa sisi ano and make us say a brebiani leader or moshe. Vim lady, I'm sure say you confirm with me on that the leadership style we need now, no. So we share Dr. Yao said with the transformational acumen, any that qualities no one to go and find the X and the 9 extra no, will be easier. Pachoatia says, so China, no omupe, the omupe so munya ubi obetimi China siwo. So in this equation, I could say China needed X and China wanted extra 9% to get to where they were. They looked for somebody called Sean Zempin. And aside Zempin, no, only leadership qualities, no, and then more China, every group baby are omodri. Because to quite for Japan, Okopi Japan, who say Japan developed it so much, and also quite bad, so now move fire and move develop it. I say, look, you know, you training teachers and you training for just to study mathematics and engineering. And your call back, you know. And Okobwa China more find X in what regards? And Obama China a trainee students no one start or trainee teachers or starting from curriculum no or some curriculum because those days not China curriculum.
With grave concern the conduct of Mr. Oneso Bempa, the Deputy Director of Communications. The Secretariat has further received formal petitions from party members demanding he should be removed from office in line with due process and considering his appointment was made upon the recommendations of National Executive Council and subsequently approved by the National Council. The matter has been formally referred to the National Council for appropriate consideration and determination. The party reaffirms its unwavering commitment to upholding discipline, safeguarding its values, and ensuring that all matters are handled with fairness and transparency. Thank you. And it was signed by General Secretary. It's almost like can be minim the
say and someone in the na asem so na asem na hokwa. It is obi sorry say NPP party near issue statement say Uzubempa is trailing on indiscipline. I mean, we're waiting to see exactly what indiscipline is it about. I mean, Udi Kwan go to say no interest and there's nothing wrong with that. They should go with a due process. But the point is that Sabia, I would have wished Sabia or Bibe State Sabia or can say and now I say, then I will respond appropriately. But Sebi, may me respond to everybody is that what you say, you are pranking sma and yakaka guru ni inti asisi ba na djugro mu no bia poma twede ahyentumam asisi e ba na djugro mu no bia poma twede ahyentumam MPP no ye nananom ya bre party ni hu MPP no nye obi ade awo meme wo fa ne ban redu MPP no enye obi ade ase de omutiti social media ni nkofo bi no omukeka de MPP no meme papa odi ase ne me wo fa na du asabre no omnom kopa ebosia edi chechiri dan kwabuzia club e wa Ashanti achi wo afia unim you know na the party na yo bidia ye nyina ye dia MPP party no ye dia na ye wo bi wo party no otimi sori anopa ejira radio so dia so fo mpanifo wo dan na nyina atem no afa no ho adi afia uni ya uni krom a wonte edi na omzo usu bempa ye edi na afia maye dia na maka omun kana mintie galamse asem. Now we have the moral right, and I'll repeat it. If you want to come and a meme your boys your war, let my vote count alliance near your demonstrations. I can see Oklahoma say, Mama Ghana, yes, a galamse in Ghana. Under 2012, 2013, 2014. Yeah, demonstration change Oklahoma. So me can no be anti-asia. Me can because Ghana politics they say no. I hear a level of moral high ground. Ghana electorate has become so sophisticated. Yet me may be a crocodile the John Wefia. The American NSS say yeah demonstrations. Say Mama demonstrate galamse idea you to a new and yet a bear Efia. Na Nyamia ya dom 2016 yaba power. Ye President Kufuor Nanado Danko Kufuor de the presidency to the line. What did we see? The people away a party no allegedly. Bebre, where do you galamse? What is a galamse it me and then under Kufuor? They embarrass the president. And then mama about power. What moral high ground to bend na your walk? Say yeah, sorry, say we are going to attack the NDC for doing that the same thing that we couldn't stop.
Yeah, but
the
also campaigns on the survey.
Exactly. I agree. Let the people of Ghana decide. You need some moral right, you know.
Okay.
You need moral right. Let the people, the ordinary people out there, decide. That is the point I'm making.
Okay.
And I will say it if my conscience, my conscience is what I speak my conscience. You understand? And it's a point. So if you have someone make a just tell me say I'm wrong. What is wrong with that? Are they fighting internally? At least Ghana for who say NPP for your can of political party, your democracy, your autocracy. We are not doing autocracy. If we are doing autocracy, they should tell us. Democracy, you can say kabi, na men kabi, chirawa drain, na men chirama drain.
Okay.
Anamebwa. Na said wono mame or na mame, ya dear nya. Now because of your mame, Tiron can of Nana. What is wrong with that? Democracy is say you do different level. We need to tell the truth to each other. We know Sir Mahama is messing up. The NDC is messing up. They have failed on Galamsey. Who doesn't know? Ghana ni be name so Oma faili Galamsey. I promise you, why Ghana ni afia? Ghana ni be name say Oma faili Galamsey.
Okay.
But do we have that moral right?
Okay, I understand.
Do we have that moral right?
I understand you. But why would the parties write this letter? I'm afraid once I'm mutual letter, Nana.
If you asema make me so be unframe. What you say? Enna Sabio say your party in Ghana for the any rail. If you are we are not running a political party on our own bedroom. Ghana for rail. Near to Chroma Mobi to me sorry did I saw for change for them on behalf of the new patriotic party. Also, go down on his knees and beg.
Also, on behalf of the new minister.
They say, I don't want to glorify anybody. They say, I don't want to glorify anybody. I'm making a point.
Okay.
What you say? You vote to your correct. Now they hold position in the party. Your national executive councillor on Cheso campaign BH. Onina will be campaign because make Kasama Kennedy Japan. Canada Japan when hinting or more Canada Japan. I'm speaking for me who could change Facebook statement I'm making is about leadership and who should be a leader. Me can see should be a say Canada Japan na president to Ghana ha if ya Galamsey no senema me bano na ye Galamsey obe discipline that is the point.
Okay,
I was speaking in context man kasa ni do obi atemo. What is if you Makasa did you be atem Penibiatem in the name of the new patriotic party? Until we endorse what you say, we endorse certain things that echoes for society when your papa. We want to go out there and endorse people near Shankophobic Kutupa in the name of a political candidate to be Shankodi Dinkofatem. We are near certain rounds as our candidate in a new presidential material. What kind of a party are we running?
And now you have evidence the party system is encouraging attack no.
That's evidence in your occasions. Now at the end of the day, no, asema ye can ye won crofo wo party mo leak information from NDC for mo to your national officers. Omo to. Now we di agro and some be pie no. Afia me unim se wo oni me. And some me no. Omo ya and someone be kikan one enko yi ma yina na the Canada Japan ami be di na chi no ye sorry anopa ye share politics na say no ye wo high ranking people omo party mo omo be gina ho ndoso Dr. Bawumia e kan sama kese na party no say egu party na ni mo ase o te say e do omo ko ba bi e friend ka say ade na me kwan dia me ko ka bia I'm the only national executive officer I'm supporting Canada Japan. I'm the only national officer I'm supporting Canada Japan. Canada Japan waiting 18 of the years because a Bawumia for the and the Yakfrewa near Kanaka to have near Janessa. I didn't know Usu and Pankwana. I'm the only one that they want to attack.
Okay.
Now him say party aye what me a RGG press statement say omo ko ye nyina omo sabio no omo ye nyina ye mo mra Now, who yet said you will win him Kufuor, who super me Kufuor Edimechi. Unim Kufuor Edimechi. I come from the heartbeat. General Secretary Nukonim say I come from the heartbeat of Ashanti region. Mini Nipakrano. NPP Nifruma Ashanti region. Vote to Bakukre free super power. Do you know what that means? In discipline, okay. Based on principles, asema be kan so be kan asem no be ko twa baby no akotwa baby no dey because contest na ye no obia pese one candidate a favor one candidate and ye pese a force no dey share Ghana for kon. And if you do that, what are you doing? You practice fascism in MPP. Unim fascism afia. Do you know fascism? Mussolini, Italy, leader be oba any friend Mussolini. And or coin a term be a friend or cano Italian language. Mussolini sempre Aragon. As a leader, he's always right. Whatever everybody says is rubbish. One leader is always right. And it became what we call fascism. So if MPP want to practice fascism or nunocracia, they should tell us, because adia memekano edia namaka if you are someone who on galamse matay, don't you get it say ye need moral right no we failed on galamse, and it's a fact. Why? Yes, Kufuor say I put my presidency on the line. Na me also be me want moral right am timi kasa no if you are, because man too galamse man too be da mean too be da and I can swear and you can go and check it's not about me, it's not about individual, me talk about my conscience. Politics na it's not about Ghana for sharing no about to Ghana for any Ghana for na individual parochial interest. It's about the people of Ghana. And if you have it's about the people of Ghana. It's in Ukraine and can Ukraine and said next time no, if you are given the opportunity, we'll make sure we do the right thing. And I'm a boyfia. It's where someone will be coca Makodi was off will be at him. Medidi penny be at him. Makoka says sebi medio osofobi ehun akoto pay in the name of MPP. Maye bibisa Canada Japan kra ko be pam me free nechi. Ko be pam me free nechi. Etino efia me can somewhere here asem no kre. And I'm telling the truth and I'm daring anybody. Say me I'm ready to defend myself anywhere. Say me edia na maka yen kana mintie. Ya toilet say the disciplinary committee. Ya obi wo kroma okodi di pani bi atem wo party mu. Osa the national executives e catch omo say they can't do him foco or no or the national executives. Ebesi na ya ne de one na mo. Now are we practicing animal farm kind of politics in MPP? I'm ready to go. That frame me as a call. You call a man ko change me because you're practicing democracy, you're fascism. You're fascism. And Obia so much energy. Obia be energy wo koka wa semafia and then party way I see democracy, democracy na adwuma. Oti ase ene enkophobia hu said ye wo de opa afia said ye ye mu bi ye life ato the line. Abrantie bi wo MPP mu afia abrantie no ye one of our full soldiers, a brand new power, make a secret to be actual. And then conformity to the party, you almost said yes, and your woman, and your man, Nipabi, also been me. Busa also fear, and your two Abawia. The very first day to Abawia, the whole MPP no. Why not? NDC for sorry, I'm not passing. Omo Baba. If you Busa, wasn't it on your radio? One thing, there be if you may say, there is more to that. There is more to that. And I make a social media. We put our lives on the line for this party. We put our lives on the line for this party. Yes, I'm not better. Secret away a tribunal. So Mudia Gra. Massa, and yet no man can fear. Me busao sa question ni biom say ya tu abawie ye me Owusu Bempah na me minister na me minister na me chief of staff anana me regional minister anana me national security coordinator anana me di post kase bi o NPP mu
Abuja Mama Munyina Wakwa Jasu Jumedi live on okay 101.7 FM now. Owusu Bempah, as I say, he's on I think he's the most trending person now in MPP politics. Nenia break. And I had to bring back because and he was supposed to come and respond. But Osiembo, because they are also MPP more say they have a problem. And said the NDC for Beka Nana Tokuba higher NDC. And Obeka said they need MPP to be strong. Because they don't want to get away with anything in power. Into omu hiya MPP for bejina omo na so but the MPP for ye there or see MPP for pa omo fa Canada Japan ka ho omo fa ho ka MPP for but 2028 no kwado omo forget it they'll beat them omo pepe omo pa because they say there MPP na omo she party na asin but na Owusu Bempah be kan say I think Kofi Tonto ne awa responded to Kofi Owusu Bempah say enye say obi mpenasem but issues na omo kan say o waya manabro so. And it is only fair that I read what Awa wrote about Owusu Bempah issue. And I think they were referring to video now, me posting, and then we'll go and talk about this issue. But what do you say? Also for Owusu Bempah, so my boss, Father Dixon, Kratima, me money dinner, or President Cry money dinner, me money because we come Owusu Bempah, obey comes say, ube, and at the end, they're no one. Rading go Ghana, there. Now, but and you know also for not seven year can ha. Ye can Owusu Bempah ya asem. Enti awala asem o kan so Owusu Bempah na kasa should also be careful about the cause. Listen, Owusu Bempah boy papo. O uncle ye kojo ban redu a eno doesn't make you Owusu Bempah. I say MPP nya we japade a wo fa kojo ban redu we de be ma. No say no one was Owusu Bempah claim say no fa ni kojo ban redu na na wo fa ye kojo ban redu na nya NDC na no wa no wo fonka games a. Our phone continue didi friends saying atamil satem nana. That is the question. Our Mohammed Owusu Bempah. Also, you were already a member of the NDC when Barrow was alive. Do you think political parties an inheritance that you can just join and leave at will? Now, I'm a catch will be saying I'm more funny friends Barrow. Also, any Calaria Jet or NDC Mubeka any papa. Any friends say Alajeta obey a speaker of parliament and therefore MPP and bona fide property, but Larry Ajete NDC penny mappa. Also, you gain prominence as the spokesperson of Fonka. They piano did at Amos at Temenedia because of convenience. Also, Bempah politician or ya Bwapapon, yourself no Abwapapon. Or no big claim is an or ye MPP Nino Frida Dana not with Master Gina change say damn some way. After in 2016, while I was in Ashanti Achim Zongo campaigning for Andy Niadeno, they say Owusu Bempah no NDP. No, Juma or NDP parliamentary candidate for the same constituency. I'll say there needs to be discipline in the party. MPP as no canon. Also, Bempah and to me fit Fonka games and Mamegu MPP. Now you call disciplinary committee or may to no make us and I why now no see a bufu sama kwa to Owusu Bempah on fanasem so honko. That is what Awa Mohammed is saying. I think Kofi Tonto I'm looking for his comment, but I can't find his comment. But Kofi Tonto the no case Owusu Bempah nyo so obi ampewasem. And then yes, obi a disciplinary committee no mo de work on is because we can nipa. It's one year discipline. They've taken him to disciplinary committee because the oil etia party mra and ogu party in any matter. And it's not as if say omo first pick and choose. But then this issue has become a problem because between NDC and MPP. In 92, they have taken over the leadership of Ghana. And Ghana leadership now, I am more money. Ghana leadership now, I am more money because from NDC, MPP time, oh, Nagalam saying, we complained about Nanado style of leadership. Say Nanado went to me and Chin Kufuor asem. Nanado went to me and checking Kufuor. Nanado went to me. Abrante will say, my worry is why is a JW lady? You don't vote, but you are discussing for me. Patron JW. Why all this nonsense? They be JW for the frama semu. Munja JW for no munye free. Me ko JW o to. Min kola bre me ma me ko JW. Obi aya na JW. Na mama JW for nya omo peace of mind. Why? and someone didn't see the men are may a political interview. So if you have a problem with me and you want to fire na so men fire. Ne leave JW for no money peace of mind. No say about your choice. Opa, you can exercise that right. Opa, I won't exercise it right. No, what I say? I have to say the right to your friends go to school. That's it, right? Education, you're right. But Opa, you can go to school. Opa, because uncle. Almost so amount to almost the biam person ko me problem now they say JW from more free. Why? More free. They are one of the very decent people in Ghana, religious groups or more respect them. Ejuma JW for a very few religious leaders can do. Now no to be go Jina Bonti I will preach a whole topic. Jehovah is what I've been preaching for that kid to Bethlehem. They've been preaching. Man bomu di nyina mu leave them alone. Na me me politics. Opa fa o babe woso na me so me fa mpian. Fa be woso na me fa mpian. Leave Jehovah in as well. You are question mama akaba.
Yeah,
Mama,
yeah.
good evening.
Yeah, you are looking fresh.
Oh, me that's what I don't know.
Yeah, but see a salad and guana woody.
Oh, who said Trump salad maybe? Trump salad maybe. Trump salad maybe. Oh, say na can about when na can say the echoes to NDC moon NPP moon. In fact, NDC so it's boiling out to say NPP dey. In fact, there's a research be on my almost say Haruna Iddrisu we BT say don't get in the post. Last 2 weeks, me wahana me can't say we say we say don't get he's from a different generation. But in new generation, Haruna Iddrisu is the most qualified. He's the most qualified in the NDC for now. But that is why I wanted you to come and say, yeah, NDC is about leadership. Yeah, NPP is about leadership. And the problem that a lot of people had with him was that leadership style. No, not on Tiamba. And a onya problem. And the president Mama be as a onoson Tiamba sa. Ama galam say what's so by a big push, also by creating jobs, also by 24-hour economy. So far as I know they encounter once more. We are just dilly-dallying with other issues. In the end, I share that first a leadership issue, no, and the need to create jobs. It's just getting out of hand because now your job unemployment rate it will be hard. Oh, your girl will be the Juma Dada. It's sad what we are doing to Ghana. The leadership issue between NDC and NPP, but generally, my initial comment on even on Owusu Bempa issue now, sorry, I call leadership. No, so
yes. Okay, me starting fee Owusu Bempa di. Member Nabaso, Emsana who mentioned some names, and then including the fact that the younger generation. It seems, the reality is that they are tired and sick with the older generation. Because Omofi said, now you who as figure has ye papa no more ne way near the Anka ye de omine share omunsa. To me, Abua na you for no so any jumaye. But we share all over the years, in paying for no bar. A dear ye feno employment in as for dear. And come my dream, ye hokra. Now, a camera say, say Ghana, how no employment, no mufis, a buy juman kwang. Oh, now by a juman so no, uncle 40 order. Ye my minimum, ye papa, ye na money, go deeper back, ashe juman back 30 years. My accountant or me finds a ministry of health. Sandy Panoda Subo wow. Every year, so graduates, every year school at the back. Or no, see your way experience now, share ministry of health as accountant for 20 years. One affair away we will Lego and now UPSC. And I will buy to know buy a drum on your own few crampo. And I'm over the years, backlogs, ebegu now your political leaders and also let me just be in fact and specific. You said all of us are refusing to think outside the box. And we said, Sanka, in those years, you absorbed 1,000 workers into government setup. The same 1,000 vacancies in the war. But this time around, 100,000 in a graduate every year.
Okay.
And 4,000, I can't 90, I hear 1,000, I more backlog no more.
Okay.
Next year, so another 100,000 ebe graduate, 1,000 pe in our barber form. Into this is the time, inka yempenyi for no, ebe thinking a little bit outside the box, and that's why they be as if you have a bow program. So may to say every month be a COVID to say what the say a award because we show no. A cut across all the divide from economic, political, social, then, we'll handle it within the week. So few hours now, we'll be on Monday or Wednesday. We'll touch it on every corner and sphere of Ghana's existence. And we are more particular with things that will empower the youth, things that will develop Ghana. Unfortunately, these are things which I am paying for them. You can't and form. But we are a little bit critical. We are analysis here. We are foreign union UK, US near. My steady terrain more towards your show. We show no the approach from the normal and fan diagram.
Because we are more concerned about seeing creating a Juma.
Exactly.
Attitude maintain.
Because I had dream baby. And if they are able to identify it from the angle, say, your backlogs of graduate there. Now graduate for backlogs. And if from one we JHS or dropout. Or we a secondary school or opportunity to continue. And I'm a hardship no abba baby.
Are you saying NDC failing in creating jobs? NPP so failing in creating jobs into over the years, no? And now we creating jobs, and then I can just near Kakrabi. Nipa no so graduating the doors.
Mede omunyina boom because we need to say we need visionary leaders at this point in time. It's not business as usual.
Okay.
And when you're here now, and that from cry. I am paying for the diagrams as if inform. The youth are not getting jobs doing. And money be out of no fault of DS. You see, I know one who said, one found one man bema, 1 year slave queen, 1 year we are. Abrabon bed because everyone know. The few who are getting it also know. Employers are also taking advantage over the system and are abusing the right of people. And rich may be left for middle-aged lady. Oh no, I think say foreign land and Abano, especially say your twin brothers and sisters in Nigeria for
Nigeria.
Abados were your mind no party. A Jumana was system and a mono, Kakrana or Hono, Omaso no money every blessed day. Oh, yeah, ya won't do no Kakrana Kano, and also Omo no money I was thinking, say, Inca, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ghana Immigration Service, and then the powers that be from Jubilee House will sit and look into this critical matter. And yeah, baby, na utukwaya as a foreigner who had the opportunity to work. You must be satisfied. They have to give you resident permits. You also have to be given work permits. And sana, this permit because if you need resident permit, they will take your records. You have to pay some money. That pays some money, no. Or mine, no, you bet to me you and they are about our economy. But as we have it now in our country now, all these regulations are not being adhered to. So foreigners come. Oba no abe rented down or East Legon. Oba rented down or Medina. No, I started. Neoma Ghana 4 years no so yebi. And then I ever rented no abe rented Ghana 4 years being rented. Because there are no principles, there are no regulations ensuring say foreigner be aba with your work permit, with your resident permit. Yes, you be at least a home no crano. You bet to me they are building your country.
Okay.
Oman is losing all this money. and rather accepting everybody who comes here. People come.
This week, President call UNE. Ghana sign arrangement with America for.
Yes,
you take advantage of an fan 1-1. This week, President Moko UN conference. Obama signing agreement because of visa restrictions in Tino. They say detain deportees. Meanwhile, Uncle for US to deport you, Uncle for America, Donald Trump's more criminal record. Ghana.
Which is very wrong. Which is very wrong. Mekai say MPP time. Ananya ho why na dey okay I'm saying
no get more detainees no the mama that's 2015 Guantanamo for no
me last time and me buy no na me see JM ya be me party because change na buy no na Ghanaians percent enka nyoma bia na na do ye na ye na ye nje ho no the family members na sifo a obi aka bibia na do muntie no. People wanted change. And a change in whoever came, whether Bawumia or JM, all they wanted was change. Despite all the good things they first said, in terms of governance of this country, now you failure because you to me the SSC your book, you say where your president, where your president, and your can be a final. And some of the decisions also didn't help us. And to JMA Bano, ne feel say or the year called promised land, giddy to cry. And I hear say 1 month. I feel no auto tone governor appointment anyway. Your man 3 months, just a vet and then your money way near. But after all the appointment now, from June there about your TC Kwemuno, and I feel report in Ibi. Minister we ba now we be here to horror no we ba MC started or ECG nyoma no and then man if anka to force anka so by say your finances no MC problem in short all I'm trying to say is say you prepare your dream there to say if we thought to say GM the heaven Brian because all that greatest, at the end of the day might not be good.
Yeah, but I don't think some Kufuor can say GM for heaven, Embra. It was specific, certainly okay, say Ghana, build the NFS. And you see the entire Kufuor baby so cast against JM and they say Kufuor no more time. Now America for somebody deporting Kufuor. But now suddenly a visa restriction to you, so I call be a Nigeria upon his and say when quadie Tini Wolumai to me face America for by a moment President Abrantiano we have given in.
A very wrong decision from our leaders. And I'm Sabato Jano minority in parliament almost take up the matter. And I think MPP as an opposition also it take matter up. My pressure ebeto honorable okujeto eso say no na omodi mrika gidi edin kind be abetum because visa issue no me I don't really see the hula baloo about the visa because there was nothing wrong with the visa. What do you mean I say? They wanted to scrap it. So if you wanted to scrap it at the end of the day, one scrap it, you still come back to normal.
Okay.
You do get my point? Into Sanka, it should be something substantial. A quiet and combesi factory a kakraka or yemaimu. Suzanne Yaka says, Siano, priority, your headache pane, Mabuna, Enye Jumaya. Nanka America by Casono, I'm forcing you to do something against your wishes. If that is so, and a Mesumaya dear Cassie, and the Ama, you for no. But all in all, no. It seems we are still losing a very big point. The problem in itself is not even being identified by our leaders. Say, Ghana, your major challenge is the aspect said there's unemployment. And not until we are able to identify and flag unemployment as our #1 problem in this country, policies are here or parliament debate in a way in as if for my sister a useless enterprise.
Yeah.
Because
So I didn't think I call you and I didn't bilateral bilateral agreement I bet me the factories but send America for okay and yet the detainees here the person basic factory back on my it was some basic factory me no my or some go see back ha e be a president to promote man to go see bole your factory back I didn't I am pushing for those kind of things na dem fa so be bre man for no e be create jobs no.
Sister Fiantina, in my preamble and opening statement, Mika said, up to date, we are in 2025. Our leaders are still not seeing that as a major problem, our number one problem in Ghana. They are not seeing it that way. And then, when you pet, now you can't employment and employer, no, my this, not why you mass production anyway near it. Now, you prepare 500 Ghana, 600 Ghana. If that is not job creation, no. And no job creation. And no, a release tension, kakra. What may I say? But we need decent jobs. We need proper employment. We need factories. We need industries. Big ones are. Utu kwanko amanone baby for sorry morning. So offer car, offer train. So or call this factory apa koye juma. Now, Kakrana, ye wono, Pochua factories are uko sprinters wana. Nyanus Rabaka foreigners be Osha Bebrinano Omoye 1,000 Omukrum. No more say Ghana opportunities. Into Omoba factories, no more Shada Yane Kasiabiao. No about pomade factory, plastic family.
Yeah.
Now, almost see Ghana citizens.
Okay.
But when I miss me share Saturday, or Jumano, from Anapa 5:30 a.m. up to enumerate 8:30 p.m. as a day. This is a fear the whole day. You 260 Ghana cities. Now, Obafaka, you see a car, how for car in and out. One yakra 15 Ghana cities and 20 Ghana cities. Until 20 Ghana, a fine wage for the day no more. I can't 40. Now, besides, no more than NDD company na Japan for the no maba. And I make us a banana or Ghana in a year in say, or no supervisor, or I say, Master M say, win him. No, say Ghana in a year as penny, no more, the air family. About phone crap, so papa, na Ghana for now, don't mind them. Don't mind them.
You're moving from a hodiano, near Galamsey issue, and also about a political issue between NDC and NPP. Leadership, Ben, and Omumi and Odiamaye. Ever a buy or what you say, CIA, Nambra NPP for so Galamsey. Do you think government to be pushing?
Not at all. We the unemployment issue, as our topmost problem in Ghana here now. The next one is Galamsey. Minim pass Ghana for fanche minim pass because of our here yenti. Yakupon Basisia no bisa Ghana your problem partners obi abekan Galamsey. But I still see the unemployment first because the rippling effect of unemployment here it pushes you for into Galamsey. What may I say? Now back to Galamsey, I think the last time we had the opportunity, I stood on your program and then says in along the line, you find JM Kakra because JM we know press conference, they took him by surprise by asking him that question on Galamsey. And on the spell of the moment, he was caught unaware, and then he had to give an answer. I'm sure, sir, the same media, it could be some question, and then there, it has already decided, sir, on answer. And also be decided say yen stop Galamsey and they are because Ghana for trouble on the par after that meet the press or media encounter. Emma no cry now, I'm sure they will regret it. And from there, 2 weeks onwards, media discussions now didn't so follow I'm so we take steps kakra. And then one from
have you okay,
yeah, command soldier for police for a station. Master, and on exercise in fertility.
Ana kameba no.
Nanado try that thing at the end of the day, Galamsey no almost share Mokutu. Almost share way. Oh, yeah, man more of him. Say soldier for and enquire Galamsey. I personally encounter some soldiers or Mokalians every week. Piano. Sika no mudi fi Western at the bar crack. And no more the bar, or paying for straight. And no, they don't count it.
Like I said, both buying any opposition, more failing.
Not failing for that one then.
But now we can't. President Mama, so you see, President Mama, the end is very notable because you see, once President Kufuor, even though he failed. Okay, say on the he at least a lip service to Koranoa. He openly said, "Why ready so then Akunya beto." In the case of President Mama, no, number one question you come and media encounter now say it was a funimu, which for me I don't buy that argument because journalists cry and you say lawyers do that a lot too. Say, oh, you can preempt the questions. You can preempt questions are likely said, but then nowhere your press conference at Galamsey will not be a question on the table. I yeah, excuse me.
I can bet you.
That's one they then blame.
I can bet you pass and
but it's not excusable. Somebody chim. Kufuor put your account and I don't kind no failure. From now onwards, are we seeing the comment of President Mama said Kufuor didn't declare state of the emergency? He went further to say Kufuor should resign. Yeah, LGBT, no, so yeah, bye, and also we haven't seen anything about it. Do you think that that commitment, you know, because Fourth Estate newspaper publishing about NDC chairman, Galamsey gidi openly.
Ante fia me feel say wa ho. To say na ye kan ante ye leaders no be mu say yes Ghana ye oman ye man whether we like it or not. And at least yenya some leaders we don't want to be fixated on always Kwame Nkrumah. Question I maybe some one say na leaders no omo ba de bia ye bo Kwame Nkrumah di no. Obuna aye omo ntia. In the 60s obi to me dwen say menye we. And to know now you were modern times. Now modern times idea na mba. Can't we go back and pull your man Nkrumah started factories tin bebre tall one Nkrumah time. Say every September be 21st Nkrumah birthday. You some of the achievement of Nkrumah. The public will be here. Until you're paying for no, are they not able to go through and see say when I'm a back to the question, you know, LGBTQ here say for some time for you to because the whole year and thinker. Now President Mama is under pressure because we are there. It has some foreign flavor in there. Now we have the Western world. We also have the Asian world. Now it looks as if the Asian world, you know, what they bring on the table, you know, these days juicy, more juicy than the America and the UK for the ban. And rich here, President Mahama echo UN. The speech, you know, who's an Ghana for be Borgeso. Sir, you recognize it Palestine way. Okay. Aha. Oh, ebi mu war na ade no. The same way, Nana also those time also got Israel for echi. All this kind of public pronouncement on international stages, Africa have won there, both the Western and the Asian. Comedy, and it's an international battle. And before you even go onto the international platform to make speeches anyway, you know. Now you have to make sure say you are aligned with them. Yes, it has a whole side and now the other side. LGBT bill law, Nana. What I'll say? I pass LGBT law, Nana. Of course. But to say but you know to the issue against President Kufuor, so on passing law, no. Can we use that as an excuse? we so kakra. Muka said there was a time Ghana for the DJ Matema Musupena 2015-16 no. Emma if you know about public and the way for kakra. Emma point to cry and I say omo ye de me the president omo ni president. Did you get it? Omo me the president no mu hawa. Who be the president city? Aha. So at the time, let me say, sir, he had gone back into opposition. Oh, now see, I was on banner we be the president. And when we say no, sometimes one day 90% and 100%. There comes a time where you have to go by the dictates of either the Western countries or
is it the Kufuor the time? Then Abrofo na ma Kufuor the pressure someone pass LGBT nana because your man pressure party Kufuor one pass LGBT na beto etiawo. Yeah, demonstrations, campaign ni ade some judge any anymore. It's other na President Mahama Bani the face say oh Abrofo na my pressure.
Senior, these are the two things Emma JMC Oda on to Minda because you say the key things are Yejina Sodaya campaign. This BBQ there is a momentum crampo mobile. Okay, and Galamsey became matters of campaign element. Now videos is soon online. You see, I will call YouTuber. When you click ya na Okujeto diaba, Sam George diaba, Obia diaba. So the question is Shemensem moja. And you may na more position more kind na sisi amamba more washing. But you see, all in all, no, like I'm saying, you do pempenswa. Yen to me end that all the time because when we continue doing this, and if you are many every day, we'll come and sit on your show. In Yuma, yeah, can they? We spoke about it 4 years, 5 years ago.
Yes,
Oh, so it's like the leadership of this country have no sense of urgency. They don't have the willingness to help Ghana develop as a country. I bet it's okay. A regime change. We ban we go. Yen can we? Let's come into power. Yeah, once we have the power, you bet me a catch from so no man easy. Yen danda ya wonsa. Now 4 years now samba become.
Okay, very well.
But we are appealing to at least Yenayugu Yokoto Jeso Ghana Fuina Eshenim and this overwhelming victory, because Ghanaians were tired and sick of leadership promising them, and then when they come, they do a different thing. LGBTQ minus positive negative near the demonstration near Nana do say Montreal. Eka ho and a Ghanaians ebufu na the 2 against you or no and then we don't want to say because election time is so empty. Leadership will not mind us. Onka Sami way, I mean not even me, Sami and Sami. Unemployment issue, Galamsey issue, and a LGBTQ way. At least on tier Ghanaians, you suffer kakra. Because issues about governance is not only about political leadership. It's not only about your party in power. As a matter of fact, the party in power signs a bond, they sign an agreement with the rest of the citizenry that vote for me. When I come, I will do A, B, C for you.
Okay.
When I come, I'll do A, B, C, D for my party and then the followers of my political party. It's yet to slow, yes, baby. Kasano, I say all year round. The following day, started another CASA campaign to the following election view. So at the end of the day, why do we even vote? Why do we go into general elections? If our living conditions, our existence, remain the same. then the talkative every day. Kasanko.
Exactly.
Oh, yes, sir. The whole world, is evolving. People are moving forward. Utukwaya. Na me ana mo wazo omuntu me se me mpia kwantu ba kumienu bi na aya kono. Ante fia obedu bepia station bia obedu no. Car we moving her, train we moving her. Everybody is busy. Omu kwa ejuma. They are focused on doing things that will develop their country first. The nationalism, the spirit of nationalism is there, followed by working, engaging in one serious work or the other that will put something on their table. Partner, that seriousness is not there. So we have all the 24 hours to talk. We have all the 24 hours to channel our energy, stored energy into activities that don't help us, our families, and then the rest of the country. All because there's a missing link between us and our political leaders. And affecting every fiber.
Council, how are you betting me a closest missing link? No, say NDC, NPP. You try it appears that 2028 or money best to a moment. Because I say, you said that, and yet, didn't say about third force, because she votes now about so far from 1992, I be seen now. Third force be a baby and said them fino. Now I know I said that name Alamoye Kakre crowd, total votes, or Munina, rejected ballot to create more than more. Into ya say then. Into the entry between
Dr. Parker
yes, you are okay, CPP before Dr. Parker, Abu Sakara.
Agude na hegamo.
The actual
Sakara
Agude Swaba and Abu Sakara. The consultant who said then. Even General Eskin. I know UN peacekeeping mission boss. The General Eskin, Yamuao Munti. I can a third force. I can say Yankoto. So between NDC and NPP, no, can we get on the papa baby or more? Or no junior or minor youth, no, or junior job creation, or you're passionate about or minor that you bet me in the background. I resolve leadership crisis here, woman says here now. You're NDC now, President Mama so on 2028. So we need a leader. Obeti me a guide the NDC. Say nipa nebe boy because President Mama and then leadership now can you way in the just say, oh no, and that's what papa be anywhere be free on my he will do something, but he will try his best. But say you bring up the common Krumamo type of leadership, no, you just say beyond President Mama, you bring Obiana. Can Haruna Iddrisu bring that to us? Can Kufuor bring that to us? Julius Debra and I say don't get here. Uko NPP, can Bawumia bring it? Can Kennedy Japan bring it? Can EFS Dr. Duchum bring it? Can Kwabre Japan bring it? So one of the most experienced politicians on the NPP side. Kwabre Japan, very solid guy, architect, very passionate about Ghana. You enter the two parties. Where can we get any crop of new leaders? Or me passionate. I'm betting me a boy, Anna.
Yeah, Medasibio. This is where the youth are more interested in. You say in your preamble, no, okay, and Miss Missy Successor, the youth somewhat are disappointed in the aged. Anybody who is beyond 60 years and above, no, Echo 70 anyway, if they don't see the exhibits, the youthfulness in you, Baba said the youth of the country, they have a lot of reservation. It could also mean you are 20-year-old and a 30-year-old, but we don't see the youthfulness in you. Rather, we are on your man say akokra. What do you mean I say? And the age necessarily is not the issue, but then we want to see how useful the person is. You may be 90 years, but then if you're doing your activities and the rest indicates that you are more of a youth than an aged person. The youth of this country will buy into it. Now, leadership in particular, is a fear. Let me be blunt. And yet, we our leadership qualities. Unfortunately, with the kind of system we have in Ghana here, and often they're not a deceiving. Now, you leader or no by bet, who need those qualities But by the near virtue said, who belong to MPP and NDC, our Ghanaians be decided so this year I farmer MPP for, the following year I farmer NDC for, and they cast it die now. When your clouds or party mono, then they die no about also, because you were this saying said. In the Ghanaian balance and Ghanaian voting system, what the me fans are koko and I even sabi any animal now branded some colors be call one particular region. Nipa no be deliver as MP man. What me I say? The same thing na the presidential way no so no. Depending on our mood swings, depending on who has stepped on whose toes. Depending on who has more resources than the others, depending on who has more followers, or the divide. You see your way camp. Depending on which camp has more people than the other, then they say, you should be the candidate.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Safayan follow one by one. Yeah,
the
one by
same
one people for the So why? Baby, where you sit on the outside, no more one monitor Bawumia Ken.
Now, maybe question now the buyer no. Metiasepa unse aya akokono mitutu kakra na mesisupum. Now, let me make the topical statement. We are na matuaso. Now, the topical statement who person will tell for answer no. Over NDC, the youthfulness, exuberance, the vision, the leadership qualities now, I want to match it to Burkina Nino no. Makato say from a neck on a topic would be may use Burkina Faso as our standard, immediate standard. Rwanda, not until you do in your makakra or more, then our leaders are not ready. Until such a time, our leaders will be ready. I, for one, I was so happy to see Traore say JM inauguration or inviting the buyer our center of attraction. The whole world, everybody was watching him because he has visited Ghana for JM's inauguration. Yen and I were happy because we felt to say America Ibrahim Traore or the Burkina Faso JM started February. Speed on also the able to Ghana, but we are in September, we are entering October. I said the same system now. Nanado Jaya and I say Yam Peno. We are not seeing anything different here until we are not seeing the Burkina effect and the Rwanda effect. You say if you are not, the politicians they will tell us say, oh, I think I'm about 1 year and we made it to Tonyoma. Ubehuana 2 years about no monsieur challenge be about when about COVID and then oh now 4 years now so. No matter that 4 years is 4 years. There's nothing like a maba. A midway. The promise you gave, just stick to it. Having it at the back of your mind that your citizens are suffering. We need development, we need jobs, we need this. And we need some social intervention. A big cure some major problems confronting the country. These are the things that Ghanaians are looking out for. So if you are not creating opportunities, if you are not solving the major problems in the country, then we are still at a standstill. And to me, who do with this preamble, man, obviously, so I will bet me I can answer another mammy. In NDC, so I will win Nipa obey to me, I fit into Burkina. And I'm a it's a fear. Oh, Nana, definition, I made a man, so
Haruna, okay.
Haruna.
Even against a certain cannot do that. So no, you'll mind here, but not generally very useful.
That is what I was saying instead. Mr. Siedun Katia, our system, no matter all respect to him. What may I say? He's been in the system for a very long time. 50 time and unrest up to date. 50 time. He has been in Ghana's politics, Ghana's governance. BPA obey deliver no Ghanaians have seen it. Wow. And a banner say, buga, those kind of thing, anyway, why any nabi. And to Ghanaians, Asuyansu or Masuyansa.
Okay.
But at this particular point in time, maybe I was here. It has nothing to do with where Omina Betumiaye and Omun to me. We need somebody with some extra qualities.
Okay.
Somebody with extra qualities. With Haruna say, at least now, Ono come on, I mean, those times, you know, he was a NUX president. Mikai Omachi Mayako, some demonstration. I think it is based on those demonstrations, and Atamel Smoka say, Yanko Scouting, or SRC in NUX president, you know, Mumba joining NDC. Because at the time, you know, where he exhibited leadership as NUX president, those times, you know. And no, it's not just about student politics. No way, we're grooming, we're training, academically, he's good in terms of communication and so on and so forth. He has everything. But in Ghana here, sadly, because of a rigid system that we have created, that does not favor anything outside of NDC NPP. The same system will also not give room to some persons coming from some regions of the country.
Yeah, my president, you know. How Iddrisu be from the northern region? Oh, yeah, I'm on
I don't ever say any chances, you know. And there's a share and say almost body language, you know, or how no home baby. Instead, Opeso could throw the supporter around a certain vice president, you know. Most Ghanaians are saying, say, Vice President is strong this year. And also, to say, Yankupon, my Vice President now holding what you say. Sending also one day, the first female president in Ghana. Indirectly, you know, Safanti Bar, nature said, not in so by a vice.
I do to know as opposition for vice running mate.
Exactly. Because Sisia know the way a political and American or no on the political terrain. And when who say no money be or oh no fini eba Sisia. I mean Ghana is not about only one region. Oh, the other regions also. So we try to balance things as and when. The same way we balance the political parties, you know, so about a regional balance the way in Asifua. Nobody can keep a close eye on it to say, Northerners has become president. Northerners are somewhat in Ghana politics. We even say they are in the minority. What may I say? They are even in the minority. And the opportunity be Basaya, we see it as a blessing, a privilege. Do you get it? And JM Wako 2 times. He's been privileged to represent the North 2 times.
Presidency in NDC and some North of him.
Very difficult. It will be difficult. Irrespective of how qualified the person is. Like I have just said, Haruna, in Burkina spirit, no, Ewonumu, in Konusu and Lishi, Nina outright. You see a baby or Shano as a minister, no, he is limited. And even before Obenya appointment, and then I say for no. Now, on the NDC for any problem. Nero as minority leader, no much if in him. And they are coming out to force. So there was that friction there. Until the establishment, you know, the establishment wanted to favor Atuforcing.
Supporting Atuforcing.
No, but unfortunately for Atuforcing to the chief of staff is somewhat becoming the blessed child of
yes. Yes.
That's what the public said. Maybe at first you had the opportunity but on the doorsteps and one grabbing them. Maybe his focus was trying to put our finances in order near the Neneba wants to be more started jogging and thank you, Tony.
Because chief of staff are jogging now and quite a campaign strategy.
It is now about a very difficult thing for Atuforcing now because Yakai Kufuor the time and now. Kufuor wanted to favor Dr. Ndum. Dr. Ndum na mani hua one nanadu nya no. He wanted to favor Dr.
Kufuor wanted
Ndum
to favor
succeed him.
Alan and I said Dr.
And I
Ndum.
did fight. Dr. Ndum was the first blessed child of President Kufuor.
Are you sure? Because
And he was the one
me being
who
a
wanted
journalist
to
at the
succeed.
time, he didn't say President Kufuor the name.
Oh, Peter Obia, what be a phone now? Who be a phone now? Oh, some men
I know
those
say President Kufuor na call Alan. Alan and I will push him and maybe he had two people because I know say President Kufuor na call Alan. I will push him Alan.
Dabi, not at all.
Okay.
Ghana, there, my first political father was Dr. Ndum. Okay. And on no buy, no. In femino, they buy one fan feminine in US and backward. And President Kufuor was so lucky. Onya all the stars. Oh, we could go up with but who's a JJ regime, you know? People were scared of being killed and as if on to intellectual near the Ghanaians. And the first time now JJ feet terrain President Kufuor by Upia Wako Grumano who outside was willing to come for the new change. Luckily for Indum, when he came, Omoyeno, Minister for
Economic, finance and economic planning.
Regional integration. Not the office was fast about
economic planning.
Wow. Hello.
Me
What you mean,
economic planning ana. Cancel network no. O network na te ko bia say opposition hu ye ma me a. Clifford Cheba for so this question doom is okay, I'm sorry. He wants to say something. I will say this question doom is coming as a surprise. Yes, me too. Because I never knew say Indum was Kufuor boy. Because me they be in 2007, 2008. I'm a journalist. And I was covering those days, boots on the ground, full blown politics. From this is assembly elections, polling station elections to regional elections near there. That is the period where I harness my skills as a political party reporter, political reporter, election reporter, because I was in every corner from Accra to see a Solatuna Kaba, Bole, Kosi, Tamale, Savulugu, Miom, Bumkurugu Yo, Gushegu, everywhere I was reporting, all the way to Jasika, EFS saying, Bodada, Kokosi Boda, no Sukotogo. Babesi Nkwanta North, Nkwanta South. Kosi first Kratchi East, Kratchi West. Those days from my knowledge and experience, President Kufuor, the candidate was Alan Chemanting. And all President Kufuor now were working with, we talk of the friends saying Joe Gate, former ambassador for UK, Papa Oswankuma, President Kufuor cruising now were in Alan camp. They were the people who were managing Alan Chemanting campaign. And they were not just managing Alan Chemanting, they were sponsoring, pushing money into Alan Chemanting campaign. I remember 2007, last campaign primary, sir. Omudi electing Anado. It was so bloody contentious. Congress, sir. Aya contentious, sir. Jamawi yenwa. Now when you back on said don't call Luzu as no Tamale. I covered that one too. Now when you NDC Congress in Tamale, the election of NDC executives, that's it. How they do to Rollins said the man not fair they do to buy her. Or see if you can you play me the voice? Sure. Voice bang. Rollins and Casa. Yeah, to a bang now. Rollins was seated there, no back away, and then you and I who's a massa politics near BDBH. He didn't blink because in party congresses, no voting process the check. And yeah, no be added that Rollins and one day he was there on any day. He was there to say, yeah, I found them. But it is our MPP for Congress now. I think a great hall Legon. Great hall Legon. Yeah, in 3 days, ni and you now. Oh, movie a story may break you away. So nobody's moving, no back. We were there staying put. And it was Alan Chairmanti was the candidate. And one afoko beche sikano. Afoko me say delegates in now be a bag sen. Ya mountuma even the great hall no or more gates doors best I think like 4. And I first I manage in a baku cheska. As I'm watching jina baby cheska. Afoko jina baby cheska na Afoko was believed to be the bank roller at the time. Or cheska to sign. Now, 10 people for any soon no more delegate be a okuta bag or package no de mono who could have party brochure constitution near the bag can bag nimun into my sir me who congress ya cheska this is NPP congress okay they are none be a funka games nana krodu versus tata mills sunyane me see kokwanyu do okuta Ghana must go sikan ko a ye cheska sa ye che asemo ameke kokuba as on the so uni mabaka say heads will roll. They say Koko only film don't remember has Robia. Ye cheskasa. Fonka game this Afoko mo Alan. I don't know about the Indum connection. I don't know Bibusano. Because that Congress, no, that election of Nana I don't know was a very contentious election. All the Kufuor squad and Kufuor squad no was made up of Asamoah Boateng, also a returnees Wonibia. Omo no mafia brochira ba Asamoah Boateng Anane was the former minister for roads and transport. Everybody believed that Nesikani the Alan and Anane Nane Kutano. They were sharing money. Afoko there everywhere you go. It was Alan's campaign. So campaign na Alan here, you know. It has to be studied. Ghana ya brochira and that campaign that was run by Alan at the time. Now the campaign manager, I think, Sir John. At the campaign from Paul Masumunya now were in a year first Alan campaign team. That campaign now Alan ran, you know. 2006 to 2008, that campaign has to be studied. That Bawumia, campaign it has to be studied because it was campaign munyina magao. Inti indum I know President Kufuor no pena 17 or didn't buy but I don't think he was the person that President Kufuor. He was President Kufuor's backup plan. He was his backup plan. Say be Alan and then I'm the way back. And I branch about because if it's true, say Indum was for Kufuor. Okay, click for the chamber for say I'm hearing this back with Indum as Kufuor's preferred choice for the first time. I haven't heard it before. Me too, I haven't heard it. I guess I haven't heard it. I guess I heard. Maybe a scene, I haven't seen it. Kufuor liked him because on penalty, I'm finding free CPP, MA minister. What I say, but for as to say he wanted him to succeed him. I am hearing that for the first time. Isaiah say, if your Indum has always been a Kufuor guy, that is why after Kufuor took over, he made sure that only surviving Kufuor's son is also destroyed by succeeding him after ousting of Alan. Okay, I don't know. Or say Alan boy. I think nobody is disputing the fact that Indum Alan boy, Kufuor boy, but I don't think it's not Kufuor person bedina unless lawyer ba no about bechiemu. Obviously, every Tom, Dick, and Harry knew Alan was the preferred heir apparent to Kufuor. Yeah, Alan was the guy. Alan was the guy. Na Alan nana said omo mafia no Alan no so pegidi. Enti mafia de bia ba na te say watch no na nkofo de aye ni sulu ya. Esio Kwawunte so say if I'm watching live from Kwawunte so na greetings and come incoming women organizer how akumsi na de be man okay. And yes, also the etuno kuta we raw for no and media everybody has a right to self-defense. Obia or right to self-defense. Memo obia me dada say obi any right. Who could tap pepper spray no be beto mo na say me the pepper spray ni be sha me ho. Me ko spray. Wo dey tena ho. Na what America here. No aka say wo dey everybody has a right to bear arms. Ghana 19 year law so wo ba be license they could our arms no. And then tika for Ghana nyina wo twa omu fie because of arm robbers. How come sin kwa go good be say issue on Ghana double standards member ni nyina umugunye kutebi me bra pani or the saying me bra pani or the saying nila ya fotagbo former kpon katamaso MP na kire mi tuo won ayi ono ye kum ni nia watemakpon pe spray ne car no bullet be 200 and ye ni free ho what I say ye ni nua be ma ni free ho na on that score no so all is the Nico Cuban in buy until he's not playing So until yeah, remember gonna bona a lot now can about say or they saying Indum, and people have responded say say Indum. He could have been President Kufuor favorite, but not that President Kufuor no person onu no di na de. But anybody just around the Yembra NPP for what Haruna Iddrisu is the favorite. But likely say presidency and come back to the northern region because of President Mahama. Still council where you need freezy. I don't know why where you back on also the crowd and yet Juma crowd. Say you better call us in be almost on this it's MPP no. Say why because they say no. I'm saying Dr. Brane Champa and no youth candidates because they be in the campaign and all pigeon. Charlie, my guy, we for change Ghana then Dr. Brane Champa I say, but me makase any time in you to Brane Champa me makache any time in 2028. The time here maybe from 2032, not this time. Oh, into our on him the into now. He's marketing himself for 2032, not now. Now when I still bled am I, but now MPP. Until say why the best succeed MPP there no. Oh, council still away, you know. Council me who say oh friend me there, but still away, you know. Junior Bayano was say MPP executives are taking Ken for granted. Well, I don't agree. Obian to me take you for granted. You are the only person who can take yourself for granted. So why is serious? And Ken who said from first, no, said you're not Ken no, and he's completely changed himself. And I don't think say Obia taking no one can say he's not taking himself for granted, and that's the most important thing. Junior Bayano say Alan Nankasa the entire Alan Enyane was because he was soft. He was soft. And they say MPP never say no. Why the baby MPP are there? Why the baby NDC are there? Council Amaya Theatre NDC there. How Iddrisu is the favorite, but again likely say Amemoni San come back to northern region because of President Mahama. It's likely say Julius Deba will win the NDC primaries. But it said don't get also mark. It said the whole year campaign war ground or no. Research be a for University of Ghana Legon so and they said don't get also to first. But if I show you researcher abrakosi kwate member hona one person mo share muso madwen no muso matimi a share madwen. I saw this research from University of Ghana Legon and it was about the race to replace President Mahama. Let me show you this one. And so far no research on my how Iddrisu is beating person Sedun Ketia. This is the research. But the anime from University of Ghana no and they said Ketia was number 1. Okay, this is MPP. Every MPP first name call in MPP. No, Bawumia is still leading 47%. Kennedy Japan, 70%. Team Kennedy Japan now. I'm connected. Monya modume namunja connected. Now mobile mohene running from go to the ground and campaign. Munja is a mobile mohene connected. That mom be Donald Trump. I'm winning bigly. Donald Trump, they don't know bigly. He was working on the ground. Now Bejana be connected for waiting. Kona munko ground go yaduma. Munko ground. I think that Canada Japan team no so sometimes the issue is the more complaining dodo. Mumu bebre more complaining dodo. You are complaining too much. Munko ground na munko yaduma. Bawumia is leading 47%. Whether or not Bawumia be winning the general 2028 election, and that's not the issue now. Because we need primaries and yet guaranteed so we need elections. So, but that's another conversation for another issue. And in any case, that's also homework on back. And to Team Ken, you have to now elevate your campaign. Maya kakra more strategic on the ground. Now, more about me and free advice on the Team Ken. The complaint no does not be Donald Trump and Kaso we are into your tenants is sleeping on the job. Or ground koye do many one. Moon jai complain and among ground me am ground in Yeduma. Namunya connected no. Doors not connected no. Go to the ground and work. Bawumia one are leading 47%. But move to me overtake you more. There's nothing that says that move to me overtake you more. So Bawumia is leading by 47%. Ken 70 and a much. So unless Team Ken back at they want to pull some kind of magic, what I say because we global info analytics from here, say they placed Bawumia in the lead ahead of the presidential primaries slated for January 7th. Then between now and January 7th, a coin womb There's nothing that shows that to me, hey, your homework can be winning. You can win. According to the poll released on September 29th, which is today, Dr. Bawumia is the favorite, who has maintained a comfortable lead with 47%. And a Canada, Japan, any former Ascent Central MP, no, also following in the race with 17%. Quite new Dawson. And Team Ken, you need to close the gap because the way Mukoba, that's a Bawumia ni team Shemo pa no mama big margin, and I just say showdown, they say no, no mama mu showdown, and any say banisa, any say banisa, what you say, it's now mum, and also make sure some mama Bawumia team no showdown. Now some say and pa say, mu a favorite of the youth. This is how you should say you are the favorite. And yes, I only now you connected, number of workers here. And I'm okay. Munko ground, Namunya Jumano, near you say yes, Moya Jumano. So let me take you to NDC. NDC to the end, and also a jadem giddy, and also a certain Katia campaign. Now, you just say a certain Katia campaign, but I had to say, oh, Minya campaign. But Obian say, certain Katia campaign, oh, you know. Now, no toy also, thank you. President Mahama, no, officially the candidate and the president of the Republic, Crank, I say, or call a talk, but a certain Katia so koto. So this is the NDC, you know. And NDC, then according to Ghana Web Story, no, Haruna Iddrisu is leading he's in a comfortable lead too. Info Analytics research just a poll no my Haruna Iddrisu appears. Let me read the story. It's also that we all understand. This is the race to replace President Mahama in 2028. And I see Global Info Analytics has put Minister of Education Haruna Iddrisu in the commanding lead of the race to find the next presidential election of the National Democratic Congress after President John Dramani Mahama leaves office. The poll, which was released on Monday, September 29, showed that nearly 30% of Ghanaians want Haruna Iddrisu to take over from President Mahama as the leader of NDC. The education minister leads in the process to Esiedun Ketia and national chairman of NDC. Next, said Julius Debra cry money you out. Intina said Julius Debra ni abra walk no any aerobics. Oh, me and I said you're bad more than a can when if you know his wife. Such a sweet woman, sweet, adorable woman, Julius Debra, fantastic woman. And that woman is the soft part, of the side, our person or the vanity. Haruna Iddrisu is in a comfortable lead. Esiedun Ketia is following Julius Debra, but Julius Debra is not worried. In fact, Esiedun Ketia is not worried because the lawyer can, Esiedun Ketia himself, Mahama free wa, a Jumane san con off, and san con off. Into Esiedun Ketia on Haruna Iddrisu. Onsrono onim se between no any Julius Debra and ono nso more experience or the experience baby to Julius Debra, but Julius Debra so did youth exuberance or the human relations or the young age or the baby to Esiedun Ketia because experience then Esiedun Ketia the no okuta krabro so politics so the otia but personality very Esiedun Ketia unim se Ghana there your politics the man Alan Chairman be your household name. The Alan Chairman Ghana for favorite. Those days, back in the day, 2007, now Alan Chairman nickname ni Alan Cash. Now Buso be a said the parlor and I say, na Bema Tintin Gramo, Bema and Hofe, Bema and Nimu Deja, Bema Yadini Kwa Ya Yansa body, Bema or that way say it was every woman's admiration. Say Alan, Yanni boy, and Alan Yanukunua. That people didn't even question the competence of Alan. And they are giving and they are trouble. It was Alan who offended who chat. Think grammar or say President Kufuor or name President Kufuor Rollins when you could that personality. And tell how they are very saying get because think grammar on the end here. Yanko nani ink no say clay ne honasa. Into a say don't get a honey when you're on the nani clay nasa na president. Or my Ochedian Pono or Yankropon. Ochedian Pocasiano or Badiano, nani clay nasa. The how they say don't get any honor berry say don't get yano. Julius Debra the honor berry no. But in terms of political acumen, political knowledge, experience, machinations, young fati mungu from here, Juma they say don't get a kutani and the Julius Debra on tono. And Julius Debra quite any call Toto Fifi in terms of political strategy. But Julius Debra saw one thing. On him say don't get our experience into what is he using? He's using a personality. Julius Debra is one of those people or background or to say the president Mahama formula ni bina Julius Debra afano. Or might say we NPP, or might say we CPP, or might say we in fact, President Mahama so a copy Kufuor. President Mahama ne political characteristics no or the Kufuor. President Kufuor so found say we na appear stadium no me NDC boys. President Kufuor kola they can walk into his house. President Kufuor fa no. We ya hwan kra jata na so beba ne fi obechia. He doesn't care. What I say or penipa. That's President Mahama. President Mahama be frɛ. Oh, friend no cry no from. Make I say when I was a parliamentary correspondent or parliament, President Mahama beti me free baby MPs no one about. Me na me baby kura bi a me piako. Fear be frɛ. Oh, who the aba? Me see me nim the aba. So yanko me pidin o mo no beko. No, for say. This is President Mahama. He at that time he was MP. Or for yanko dem koto lunch. Mam say me ko fear me ko eduma me ko try me start. Upe eduma yanko to lunch. That is how, and you can never dislike President Mahama. You cannot dislike him. You cannot dislike him. Sana President Kufuor here. Nti ehona President Mahama sua ye no. Everything that Julius Zebra fan, Julius Zebra we frɛ bra. He will call you and reach out to you. Opa me frɛ no. Obe frɛ. Opa miss ne call. Obe frɛ. Opa text no. Unless maybe I don't know. Remember the last time I texted Julius Zebra because on pay. Obedi be 2-3 days. Obe reply. Nti ehɔ de Julius Zebra the baby T first saying it's don't get ya. Human relations no or the berry no. What you say? Human relations or the berry no. And that is why I was say a first saying a Jumano omunina be an strength in any weakness in it. It's President Mahama there. One man I'm both say NDC move divisions no a doors to MPP for there. Because MPP for there no and yet now I say a nipana doors one. It has always been President Kufuor camp against Kufuor the party camp. Kufuor was always seen as or a party candidate, and Kufuor also was trying to create his own following when he became president. I don't know say about NDC, but NDC there, even before President Mahama there were 5 divisions in NDC. There was the Fanti caucus, there was the EFS, the Kedes, and when they say don't get free no, it's the President Mahama squad near and say don't get on pay because President say don't get from a different regime. Ni regime ni Kedes ni omo ye tutu de buga. And it's I'm saying I say don't get fire for but Mahama is not doing that because Mahama is from CPP extraction. And on the end deploy any boko slow but sure. I say don't get of you or no you roll inside. Or me a kid that walk who the ayamo giri choboy. Okay, roll inside. Or say zamina mina watiwa zamina. That's where I say don't get is coming from. Or ye kid ani. And the NDC groups there will be okay that for no Gusita no money is saying get jamo or me a kedes. And Sunny I want the first Fanti caucus. They say Fanti caucus here, the Omako to baby. Koye mame vice president to cry by ye. Say them who Fanti caucus no. Fanti caucus need that be. Any I want ever caucus. The ever caucus of NDC. Almost so no after do free parliament. That's ever funny they say. I said them who are more power wielding block now. First, now you're very visible when this but NDC ever caucus used to be very big because of Rollins. What is if you want an those days when you had Kosika them, enumni ade, then do a jahonum, now do a jahon Kosika them so wuni ade, they've been kind of washed down. New generation NDC Voltarians, they were almost strong was me I'm a former lecturer here first Justice James I saw no control that kind of power. No more affair no more yebi. Only a young men. But those days, the ever caucus, no matter the power, command the power and authority. Then you want that block is also there, they've been marginalized. And some of your President Mahama, so we're creating new people. NDC mu, a black one, Sam George, mo, every say, or Manibua Mamo Muye. These are all creations of President Mahama. And then President Mahama can name women and community politics more. And now you have the Fanti caucus and the Fanti caucus. You also have the Atamils block. Apart from the Fanti caucus, you also have the Atamils block. Almost so. And now what the actual NDC for now? They came from different places because now President Rollins better from a progressive alliance. Almost so by SAR movement, they became part of NDC. Almost so. And all these groups in fact, by 2027, we won't talk about NDC. By 2027. Because after 2027, President Mahama, I can't 1 year, he wouldn't have that much control. NDC. So you see that Julius Zebra So no, at the time we're winning prime minister, he will become the de facto president. And the President Mahama will become his bankroller. It's the cost of Ghana, no. But the also the Bema Agrona de because a bedroom one MPP are electing it. Now, if I say between Julius Debra, say Julius Debra and Beko, say Siedun Ketiana Beko, say whoever, Haruna Iddrisu, Wine the Benyo, that person in Obia will represent NDC, President Mahama will become their bankroller. Now, MPP also elect you, the NS about me, second day Japan. And you see, MPP DNA is slightly different too. So Bawumia we can trust that to be slightly almost the same campaign or more run here. Maybe a few changes because this is a different year. But the changes like a crab about the second day Japan we near had do more Ghana. And the first casualty will be chopping on the block here. Abronye, yabe pamono. They will make sure they establish a case. The neighbor could be no so many film. And there are a lot of Bawumia call for me hardliners. I don't know. Kennedy Japan himself will not stick his head out say obey you or my free hope. But eventually they'll find a way to get rid of them. And that's where it will be. Yeah, mom brand you know. Now person also contribute to the conversation. You can contribute to the conversation. Lawyer so one last comment. But Clifford say on the last comment or person or they can't hear. So say Clifford they say if you or say Fonka close of a blacker. A black some George, Sami Jemfi by virtue of their sharp teeth. Well, or when you sharp teeth, Sami Jemfi crown can't funka no. Sami Jemfi on your funka. Some George money, I don't know if I'm by through funka. I'm not very sure. But also been Pamono Mufi, also been pa Minister of Sports cry, Mirefi say Council Brown, Minister of Sports.
Okay, that's Kofi Adams. Kofi Adams.
They came through Fonka games. Kofi Adams, Paul Boateng, also been Pamono Fonka games. But a black one is Sam George there. Omono ye CJA demonstration among popular. Or Manebo Mamun CJA demonstration.
But okay, say Yakasena, it was agenda by Mills initiative. Atwa Hoymo said, leaders and all Nooks leaders. Next strategy NDC in the UC against MPP. So they had more of this campus leadership for it. It's a quick one. I mean, making me other point in Ansana. Otherwise, Ghanaians will not forgive me. Sorry, sir, I didn't cut it. Yeah. Now, my real NDC analysis. Me shift by MPP DNA, we in a cut. But everyone was as Pana Kai we said, the number one beloved son of President Kufuor was Bakwesindu.
I'm still disputing that. The number one beloved son Alan, followed by Indum, but it was always Alan.
Obianim. Maminchira why Indum eventually left the scene. Indum, they were not almost here in Yomano. Now Indum was supposed to shift fully. He was on the ticket of CPP in MPP. Well, even though he was working for President Kufuor, no, Nkrumah is, ne papa was Nkrumah is. Enti Bakwesindu ni bibi oye wo wiase bia CPP ukobo CPP dimbone a obama ya chiwatu. Enti na suddenly all switch it to MPP no. That was very difficult for Indum. And then the condition, the only condition was that switch become MPP and then you take over. And also was reluctant. He was also reluctant to switch to become MPP fully. And now I Angle say, well, see outside and own our baby as soon as we near it. And yes, why you follow another day mouth find that. And this our fight in the buyer. And into me feel seen no gently, no, and a President for a fan. What do I say? As the alternative. So this will happen. Now back to the main discussion for the day. The NDC MPP dichotomy. No. Upa MPP side now. Yabubo about 5. The same criteria. Say a pass party asem and I did MPP NDC. And then Kobiabaka said Bawumia and Anke Unko. But BPIA to CCI in our existence as a country, more of the youth want to see jobs, they want to see employment, they want to see factory, they want to see industries. And to match it to the Burkina factor and the Rwanda factor, Ghanaians see Kenya Japan as their messiah, the youth, and then the elderly alike. They all want to see Kenya Japan being at the helm of affairs, leading this country, not based on buklong, but somebody who hits, the ground's running, create jobs, go deeply into agriculture, bring more investors from outside, and so on and so forth. And last year, Kenya Japan so we call elections in last year, on Bawumia on this showdown, it became like the establishment, the entire government, as against one candidate. That was Kenya Japan. Nia Oye no Kurano with one man power no place him on a higher pedestal. Now Sisiana Nanado is not in power. The establishment, the ministers are no more there. Most of the MPs lost their seat. Bawumia is no more vice president. They will not use state resources and so on and so forth. Ama can Ebenya more advantage going into this primary over Bawumia. Now, let me signal this either piece of advice or warning or whatever to the NPP as a party. Ekameme kwa inka omun take stock of Michael Quay's commission report ne by and seminar mo de by no. They should take it seriously. Ufi sa commission report ne if you are me as a person, as a citizen of this country, within the MPP and without the MPP, Obia said, MPP for no other no more they have somebody in the person of Canada, Japan, more people want to vote for. And such a candidate, you as a party, you say you will not support. And rather, who feel say you want him to be there. Sometimes some of this you understand. Ghanaians are saying, say, bring honorable Kenya Japan. I will vote.
Ghanaians can't because when you people who are in Ken team or Mokasa, global info analytics research the Bawumia was 47%, Ken was 17%.
No, they are in the build up to last elections, More people, one will publicly, privately, when you meet and then you are into this, they felt to say, because Bawumia was already with Nanado ne regime, And you know because Ghanaians didn't like, and he was part of it. And no amount of Nyoma Bawumia be never convince you. Ghanaians were emphatic on that. The mere fact say he was part of Nanado's regime.
Global info analytics research so just say Bawumia is leading with 47%.
Oh, that be I know paperwork.
Are you saying correct, Anna?
That be. I know. You see, enemy say the establishment, Okay, what was say yan to about fufuro. Yan Oman MPP for now and to about fufuro. Delegate now to before no. Omuan or Masa this time.
Okay.
Favor Bawumia. But that is risky. I am saying, say, look at the person that Ghanaians want first. Before you think about the person that you, the established persons, don't want.
Public, global info analytics, and your delegates for no more year or more post. No. Ordinary people, and about me leading by 47. No. And the which people no on Pekin, 17 pen on ya.
And if you say, the full details of research, Research na they only give her the outcome percentage. And again, Hano, Meno, coming kwa, inka yen try this kind of because Edana benefits one mayor or Ghana. Are you getting my point? And there comes a time if we glorify in this research, at the end of the day, embolden some of these politicians, to feel say they still have the clout. Now say some of the politicians, because they feel say when they get research this. Some even pumping money. They pumping money for research of this nature. Yes, for research of this nature to be done. It is sometimes I ensure the realities on the ground rather than some of the things and then some few perception they were near. Just as I did the analysis in NDC, I said Ghanaians would have wished they had a more energetic, a more robust person in the space of the Burkinabe in Haruna Iddrisu, Uber NPP SWA. That is what the citizens want. More people feel there's more hope in Kenya, Japan than any other candidate that will come. Other than that, I would say the most qualified person within the MPP now, this particular election, is the other Japan, Kwabene Japan. Wow. Okay. Because I don't know, Ubanu book long, Ubanu the political terrain anyway near there. We're grooming home for a very long time. Unfortunately, our system is not like that. System you will feel more very difficult for you to still come on track. And that is where Kwabene Japan will be lacking from that direction. The same analysis on I see doing Katiano. He has been in the terrain, the trenches, all the way from JJ Rawlings time, and then anyway. All Ghanaians want to see him. They feel say they've had enough of him. And they feel say, Chairman, yenimino leadership in your mind. Comparing him to the likes of maybe Haruna, they feel say Haruna has got a lot in him to push the youth. As compared to we now politically, and then we share what Ghanaians also want. These two at a point conflict.
Council, way in a freezy, because Dr. Bacchus, or Simon Busa question, we say, who dispute research work without providing any alternative research work or facts to support what you have been saying all day on this show? Because research is about Bawumia and lead. You also see me, you forget research. Na Canada, Japan, and work ground. How can you even say that? Also, Dr. Bacchus, Yera Nana, Anodom, pre. Question I want to busa lawyer, no. Imano also not say I'm hearing this I'm hearing this. Ghanaians need Ken. Ghanaians need Ken. Who are those Ghanaians? Anna lawyer will be subusa so Ghana for Ben. Because research and also Ghana for yan on your mukasai. Then it's still like Connecticut need a movement into Ken 2028 and I'm here connected. And they be no one or Moka. Imano also say Ken is not going anywhere. Into more forget more dad than up in Isikedi. He's not going anywhere. Clifford, see if you are asking for us, if anyone in Ghana has ever won elections against all the odds of the posters, because normally research and direction be about what the banner one echo. Into your musalo and no one be justified whether that is the case. Brad Rich, mama, good evening, Akwaba.
Yeah, if you are really more you mean to be born to
Yo.
If you are making statement to be, I think sir, you are totally wrong.
Okay.
Many time I read Global Info Analytics. You can go and check TV3 or more.
That's what I put on the screen.
Or say 57% of Ghanaians, 57% of Ghanaians, say Omo pe Bawumia. Within the MPP, 47% as Omo pe Bawumia.
Okay.
And Meridi, and
okay, 57 for the general population.
Population as Omo pe Bawumia. 47 within the party is on Bawumia. Step, if you look at this very funny thing, some say, a waste, a bogus. TV3 for TV3 for a free Musadankwa. And Musan say, what pay here in Ketia, what pay Omun and NDC for now, Ome potential. Or say, Ghanaians say, Omo prefer NDC for now, Omun Chamber Bawumia. So, what is the logic in this pool? TV3, that was here.
Ghanaians say omope NDC for nina
with the exception of Julius Debra and Bawumia can it will be the I think get Jamo Macan for at forcing Munina, Ghanaians don't prefer Mucha Bawumia. Does it make sense? This pool doesn't make sense.
Okay, so even the lowest in the ranking in the NDC,
NDC, Ghana for some prefer prefer to Bawumia. Does it make sense?
It can be possible. It can be possible, sir.
No, man can show.
Goodwill at this time.
Xavier,
the percentage of my goodwill, no so.
Xavier, meba. And the question say, Musa dan kwa who say, Ghana for a penalty. If one person was killed choose candidate, MP before. That's what he's bent on doing. Ken Kurano meba, Ken Court 2023 and will be an in Kurano, when you are 37%. To about say within MPP, no can 70%. That makes sense. It didn't say branding let your name because first no can be or say offer the full detail na regions do say na opeke or fin do say for us to know the detail of the polls. It says here, say me kona confirm me polls. Then go pay 1,000 from the north. And we say MPP mu obi can cry all the northerners but 99% support Bawumia. Then go pay 1,000 be polls. Then the bar I was saying 47 support Bawumia. That pool a balance. It's not balance.
Okay, so you understand balance and fair.
Good. It won't find any imra. Yeah, and I also can say, yeah, money say, oh, connected, get connected. And you know, you can't get from 1 acre. And you get connected, can you broke an acre? So, upa, okay, from 1 pa.
Now, the same thing is showing something else. It's a message. Master, Mamu limited be connected. Monko Ghana, Monko
Devia, walk election. What would you be 40%? When you're 17%, does it even sound logically?
Change your please. I know the man yet to say
no. Anyone also that is no that December. In December. That's why I'm questioning. Here, and I'm questioning methodology. You say on fact region via Jordan almost sample size and running away.
Okay.
We started going to mean tell me she put the conversation MB before. No, Chirangono, Yakoyi will be about no said defeat and over necessary. I know the emfa. Yeah, so okay, FM for Pomfa, a microphone goes up one thing or cycle.
I know you the microphone goes up one thing, scientific research. Yes, but
scientific,
basic journalism 101, your course, your chair say, you're trying to box pop and you're scientific.
And that's scientific. Just say Musa don't
offer
Musa don't what the figures offer the demographics in the Musa region will you probably know from. How could you big research book criminal say you win a Lydia and before that Odika last 2 months were research not about 52%. We were about 47%. You are not talking about that.
Now if the research is showing that at Tiaba format, should you not report it?
No, Debbie, me say, yeah, can for no. If you say about me, growth than all for last 2 months, no, I reduce about 47, first 52, last 2 months. Within a month, I reduce about 47. And you know January India, yeah, that
is not a given. This time here,
it's a given.
Of season.
No, it's a given.
Oh,
it's a given.
It's a given. That's how research was school.
Debbie, my research university.
One research out in isolation and say. Therefore, the academy now will continue
the sometimes you take a position now. Yeah, not position now. Sometimes some way.
Taking position. I say,
no.
Who can 2% by force?
Debbie, yes, okay. Let me say, last month Musa done quite the research by, and I see within MPP no, but we have 52%. And at this month or the other, no, see, swatch about 47%.
I make a job. Say, when you just about me, I found start to go MPP.
Say, I'm there. Name can be refer. I'm there. The problem is say, come for you. Go so you more of them. You say new in January 31st. No, now your candidate honorable in Japan. Ewini. In January Kanachi, you man so. You say the baby. Ana me ba abronya modi. No abronya no want me. GFK were very weak, very weak. And you want Haruna Prazo could not go pay baby. On time baby no abre.
Why?
JFK.
Oh, JFK, Kodia.
Uncle Penny Bintina. Also, I bought Papon, I began last week, and I must say, Oboa. Kennedy Nipa Casa, who didn't need you on the Casan, I know them. Would you mean also on my distance on Mundia or from Moody? Can't you? Party nothing, it is a beer animal say beyond. JFK won't have why be what bread now didn't me. Uncle Home.
Now we are aware, you want to meet the Disciplinary Committee. Are you?
I said, enu Wednesday na you said the letter duru yes we be jeje obi party
I
mana
want to bet your petition against
and
Woodley.
tempa no ya drafted that one by Wednesday ya dey call am on so ya twom say dey abra papa ko no yes a party ni dey ya ntwom obi a o sabre we ni braba
If you support Abronya, when you name on Abronya, they are supporting no.
Abronya you support no
Debbie
Abba papa ade asembody no kan e an ka boni bia je de ya tanachi nti ompa suspend no suspend abo papa suspend wuntumi ene Abronya you say there is fair playing grounds. Okay. To Mr. Wait, no. That's it.
You bravery to connected for what the what Chimobia. Bravo, good evening.
Stefia, good evening. But I want to say.
Also about me, I can't also chamo. Mammy,
oh.
Also now until be a case. Okay.
Also back counter this year. You see from one on the counter. Although I different. Stefia. Jamabo about so near my pa. I mean, my because it takes people with long serving and the experience and that zeal to serve the people in this way. So Obama and Yoma Kosono. Ubia Subinya, the general overview of it. I used to me share your views on it. Stefia. They made a start here. Employment negalam say no. Stefia say Omanimu highness a juma or honoma Stefia. Tiwa pa nipa be pa na bia amyefan say our qualification and na bia wako teachers we wako teacher training ya post no wa adwuma ya and say bia oye first degree holder wanya adwuma bi mu sha oye kakaka Stefia obeja say adwuma no we atwo no makwa shemgram so okodi galam say achi adwuma ni honum and they are being forced to do that kind of adwuma no enyo mu nyina na pew but said be obenya bibia dia obenya bidia hwe na busu enti no say if me metena Ghana me
na that lumba born in mo ka so bibi ni aboboni a ka beto kuma woodpecker and ka beto akuma man because eduma ye woduma me fi dance into that area ho no
minimu kro
that's where dance ni amanse we are feeling the brunt of Ghana. But every week almost all the young men there in kidney cases. We are not even talking about that too. Ajuma or what say boys bebre ebi estem so adwuma ni want bebre so free stem about I'm saying and every week bianco every week go nti adwuma o ho na wo ka no bie no obekọ akọ sane pit dangerous
abranti bie emba otim crowd
so anko beti akọ chase girls akọ pebi o se me ko sane galam
Debbie Stefia emba otim crowd me time be na me ho example me we UCC me train for 3 years upon application second class apa me ti we na me di akire it takes God intervention and me dinya full scholarship me de better na UK ha e say my master say we are massage chata me ti kromo me ye ejuma too mo me main job na mo me side job enti no enye se kromo na ye do
e ho de UK dey abrochire onye ye mate
ana meka no un say me no I've been I've tasted the waters in Ghana and I'm about my whole difference and we internet me stress senka the penny for be di anima omo de adwuma sem ne sa anoma ne de omo nyoma from de na omo fanboy youth no because enema ekosu be nyina from Major Mahama time and Major Mahama ewu ye till now we are still fighting galamsey. As at that time, 2016, 2015, now as an incident in the scene. No, so that time now come pet the whole thing. No, I not put my sibre. I'm pet how we say innocent man, young man on in the family, on in line of duty. He say well, or cop next year basa ne sa nyoma. It's yes so ma ejuma semne dey. We an lawyer can every year be a graduate for a barbon thing about 100,000, 90,000. It must send in your and every year it keeps on piling up. You never know to know when you're there in the stuff here. Uncle Digalem say it. Abra on or wait me the chop money a day bear 500, 700. Obeko. Obeko, into no any day. Omomoy or honum, boy or honum. I mean, some of us know, even yet to Krumu, you live okay, dear. But sometimes home is home. ɛno deɛ wo adwuma yɛ na sɛ wo fi na unya because kromo ase ametini bibia na metimi yɛ. I'm very busy. Me free me kwa ha me free me kwa ha. Even though unya scan dey, but nka wo feel so anka that kind of I mean relationships e bia wo feel benya namfofo mo be kasa one or two near there oh ni nyina like I mean ni nyina so abeda ne bridge aha and if I aba no ho sensem ne dey Steph ya dey ka nyina ne sɛ ɛyɛ busua baako ana akonya ato into no ye nyina no we should do a decent campaign. E me nya ade a ebegu obia ho fi at the end of the day no nipa na ebechu so no like ebe ye den ama wo se obekwa akọ campaign ama no ana obekwa akọ ye party adwuma into no the make can say from both sides from all the camps ye nyina no we should remain calm and focus, spread your message. Like I mean tell the delegates what you have to tell them. We know more do what you are fine, but e may go be a hufi mekaka meka no may go be a hufi. Yeah, with that.
Mami na wasi. Back with you. Bye Michael, good evening.
Good evening, Sister.
That means you.
And I'm asking this for me. Wala ni sumo mo friend. Miss Rom. Sister, can say me science seminar here can say ejuma ni Ghana nti nkrofo mo ye galam say no. Ye pamo mo a den ma koyana. I think say science seminar njai kan. Nti ejuma ni won ti yan hwe nkrofo nso yin so ana. Sabi ye na ye tia kwencho no. Eya fa baby dey tini fanya example. Oh. Hello.
Yeah, oh, mashada na my highlight no.
Yeah. Oh, ye na ye tia kwencho, ye fa ya kwencho ni example say. Obeto ko kacha America ban say, me nye adwuma nyanti me ko bokro no, anam ko kum nipa. Anam me ko se wunsuo because me nye adwuma nye. No. In just asem ni kan. So, and first of all so no, one dey bia me ka asem say when I aban en wana aban ne dwuma ne say obedi taxes na unso enye na waya ma o ka kwa na enye na waya ma o hospitals na waya ma aban don't create job, aban create job e bi aban why lack no obeti the social intervention bi aba na create job on its own. Kwame kuma ba ya sad ni say wa create job ne ko sin say aban to ne ko sin say e ko sin say me ba America asi me who job America ban create you ejuma go hani na ya private sector private for there ejuma go hani na ya private including hospitals. So Ghana they say ejuma ni o am pass the fear kono ko bi ejuma ma unya Ghana ni obabo ko no poto obi say ejuma ni no wa ti oni fife ani sika e bi ejuma man say onko ton no onso nya bibi nko na no obabo okro no obegu ejuma ma she mercy for see the family she mercy for plumbers adam bu Ghana say ejuma ni o kono ko mo ejuma she obe pege se kwa abokro no say ejuma ni o no mo man ejuma no obe bokro no. Oh, so we should stop young guys in some case ejuma ni o ntino we have right to do whatever we want to do. No. If you mami nkoka cry for NPP for mo when so. If you know the reason why I will always choose Bawumia over Canada Japan. If I want Canada Japan and or today or demo or no kwati you or regret it in same of kind I know the demo go so that's you can very careful. You're very careful. Canada Japan be braggy baby. You was I have money. President over my foot. Okay, can say me pay your own party.
Over my foot, they mean Kaiser or catch a president over my foot.
Okay, it's over my foot. I have money.
Or catch a president.
I see.
Or catch them for but I mean Kaiser or catch a president.
Me see. Or no, the president correct there over my foot.
Oh.
Don't know Oscar, you have money. Or no position be and no person the president. And no person the president. President over your foot, no person the president. Okay, can say market say people for when no tell about Johnny MPP. You are Crom for, you Jimmy for, and now me a comfort, me Jimmy for no. Nobody this a party no. So kata transne boot mu say, asem o kafa wa party no. And no person be this a comfort na. Ezefia. And no person be this a comfort no. Ah, there NPP for sebi o. Ini ni na sana. Timi didi atem say, na enne ubeli di e. Nda so okrofo tete o.
Because of the past and somehow I can say, "Oh, ma, omonto man, that's your position."
NDC will use that against us. Against us. Regime no. Who catch us say we lost election 2 years ago. Who be just to so by the day. Them what you say. Can the person catch us say NPP lost the election 2 years ago. But who be just how say to so by never flag bearer. I say let go continue one.
And that you lose election I mean to us by Michael. Say na ko ye amon kan na say.
Or see NPP lost the election 2 years ago. We lost the election 2 years ago. But who the Pakoya? What's up, Basse? Then two swaba. Never need to me, my.
Now, is that not the solution? Some lose election 2 years ago. Into Tuman non got it to me in the real.
Only Bawumia call. Only Bawumia call. Your power. No.
Na muluzu ye.
Tell your power. No.
Our phone no bear one or there quechi.
Power. No.
Sa earpiece na ya sa iPhone you know I am boy we no.
Is that what you guys here?
I feel it. You say
okay. Me patch say. Some your power now you call election. Election time. Who catch you say the NPP lost election 2 years ago. Fine me to ask you. You be call flag bearer race no. And now be joining race and say you two swaba. It's you two swaba a day. Because what the guy catch you say we lost the election 2 years ago.
Okay, to conclude my minimum point to crop so raising.
Oh, I don't see the point now.
I say other people to us, yeah, that's fine too.
Say you collect 204, me boy. You collect 204.
2024.
Say for the election.
There be 204 in 2004 now can 2024 need yeah.
December election you me boy. Me boy. And 2002 okay, say we lost the election 2 years ago. The time I about you call flag bearer race, you know. And about medical we need about medical we know. So me party no.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
You be just saying two swap banya there's that time no. We be see a lose to go be done two swap banya day. So what's the clear upon no. Now some of the some NCC so. At the same you and so that does too much. And also, intimate to me no, Bawumia stand tall. In some NDC for Bekano, I'm not come from where you I'm going to message get the see Bawumia. Wow, and Gamukaso Ghana for see, Ghana for Ben, Ghana for Ben, Ghana for Ben, including NDC for Anna. Say Ghana for including NDC for Anna. I'm on this law, I don't have a chat against him, but I don't where you feel. Long time ago, it's a balance balance or the Katasibi na a party. Hey, Master Nabutre, Uju party. The government party, I'm going to know every no way.
Okay.
No way.
Well, so fortunately for you, Musa don't come on research no about merely the NTNS and obey the can call for anything correct, but that's what the research okay.
That's it.
Okay, yo. Brother Michael. Brother Prampacho, good evening.
Good evening, Stevie.
Yeah, Brother Michael, the couple baby so they trust almost so you're confused. Junior Boyano so you're confused. Christabel say Michael to who need voting right or Ghana on your delegate. Because you say Master Obia or pass, yeah, Ken and Kwana or pass and Tijan on your free. Christabel see Busa and our Mike and our delegate and our Kasama Ukomunina treating to a delegate. Prince Ajimansi and Kanjo say it was true because Bawumia Palugu fundamentals no and the man Muluzu elections can Udika. Bra Imam Patwintiwa.
It's a very good evening.
Good evening.
Megazefi UK.
Yo.
Na Kenji yebeko via kotwaba. Yebeko. Delegate yebeko. On say you school no. Ubehwa minim school akoye there but ubo say secondary school ye to aba. Nipa ni ye din pa o ye very strict no. About to dia ye ntampe na sem. Be say beto ama no. Enye bibia o because ye nim say wo ye tuma wa. Uba be ye nyama at the right way MY movie. It's a big campaign against me. Kaiser me school time I was secondary school in 2001. You ever two years waba. Na me colleague back guy no pay SRC president, but no very strict. Oh yeah, my trauma. Be a campaign man, but I knew say me because campaign a feature no more can have. Or no good but near the 2 man on wine, 10 to so nti nipa ho ade yo so why psychology normal say obi o very strict no entampe na say because ye pede o mra betimi atena no so anya say betan so say bia onye leader but ye say we dey ne hu so and this is the kind of leader you see a current Ghana because I come and say in discipline doors Ghana or very blessed. Ye be bia my share you be bia but because of say a muni pan any discipline ye be bia basa and I bre. Meanwhile so nyame share o man dida. Enti senke nyu bia ye very strict like among for people mu root for can yes bia can no or ye angel and so e be but omo who say ya so leadership na who say soft people no they are not helping the nation. We need someone or this some radical leadership style ebeba obi ani beba ne ho so once again the last time it here no can be say you didn't to Ghana gas as board chairman no okodwuma mo mrebi mo ko hu say nkofo bia elite and obi say say den say o my elite abako ka gen say o na sorry ni bi edi 1 week and okoye ohwe ebu ofa attendance books ohwe emu no na I say obi ba wa be atro 95 no obi abetro 96 no obi abetro 97
yeah also
so
check your yeah
yes we realize say we na real because senka your system will be clocking in nobody will check you the system will check you abroche de bia cancer abroche develop the system is checking you until you da hokro bi nkan just sorry ko adwuma because who nim say wa anko adwuma untimi ntua wo aka. And the system now will be real munana from day one when you change of mind.
Yeah, but people also say can now can now. So people also say in discipline on the buy because nanka there are people who also make the argument that nanka Ghana phone him say they did at them no. But that kind of indiscipline and now brought your money can start here. So how would you explain that too?
I won't say only pay bia on the now so I know a fact, but yet mean dwelling on any now so no and find rubbish at the papa winni more a bit me aboa say on one kasa can as was say or could you be from the Bible so say no na me abofra na me dwen sakola but me ni my dwen say penny and it was
no issue public apology against obi a why here no penny ade why
yes yeah oh onye e kra ko be bi o admon she say enyema bi o ho a onu ahu say wanye ne yi but sesia no turning on to a different living at least yasu yen so na hwe ne yenhu se bi ensewufo se wan kan hwe a wunnim se e da na nye de and sesia no me de to me no o man na e wom sesia obi aye de opia se indiscipline adults no se yenyu obi o ye very strict na wan beto to nyama leave the beard in baby beer or yemre the Julius Zebra by Julius Zebra minim as a person ba or ye soft ye the ye papa Bawumia ba minim Bawumia as a person by I know say the same crop of people na ye healing no omo bevni omo mu edi bebre aye ntimi nya the real leadership na hwehwe film even though say or vision or something good for the nation e me there ken na man for be na chi nye say bi ase bi or ye so special sin omo akanya na mu ye pe this time era na ye wom ye po bi a or ye a little strict and then radical kakra obetimi drive the force.
Okay.
I think you for be brave to agency or more pen and moreover. So why you be paying in terms of job creation? Yeah, back to
If that is
Galamsey.
if that is the case, I then research and share so good at 17% pay.
Oh, research there. And I make can say, one say over here and send him Brian Crabbe can be said. Maybe and Brian and I can answer more. Say, almost 2 year 17 as well as it 15 was there. Almost can say almost pay. Eastern region almost
Eastern region MPs.
Almost our friend or movies our friends say, yeah, can you, but yeah, can't get any keke. So you never know. Nipa de unim nipa timu asem. Me dey say Ghana say elections next year. So we say obi can asem kyerɛ wo election mu na wan dwin tutu na we wa so ye kan yama papa fam mu so therefore ebe kwa mamia didi no unim mi timu asem. Bet ma ju sika but you don't know when I'm there me kwato abana oni me nkonkoto e na ye den aba no so benye bi. So you will never know say when the two ma na when na nto ama.
Okay.
But you see aha. And back to Galamsey asem no e kan kakra. I am man for baby e brand be kan bi the power say people say na you ma ye ninti e na ye yes ade. Maybe that say Stevia I didn't na greater Accra. See Ghana ya asase ni nyina ye gold. I didn't na greater Accra. Obi anya kukudro enka say me fa pickers me fa excavator.
Go ni bi ni ho nyina nkomo tu because ye tu anya wa Accra pa ye dey asase no. Go ni bi ni Accra ke ye tu hwe.
But Stevia I dare obia say e wo mu say ye ho chire but wo for afufra untimi mfa excavator enkofa is Lagos okutu gold ho untimi mfa excavator enko janta so
ma se ebi wo ho ankomo tu uni mi almost ye sand winning yeah anka abrocha ka beka sand mining ye is Lagos area so tu anya amode asase no Accra bebre
and on say ye dwelling on any maybe I say ye justify any maybe ye but at the end of the day no etia ye ankasa because they see an obi ehun say ade no they see ade omo ankasa omutu no ankasa ehun say ade na ye nankasa at the end of the day ebe be me be say bi ofan say me too good na ma betina brochia me ntimi say me busuafo yi na betina brochia edi say me nko aminye scanner me nya visa betina brochia me busuafo na me ja omo no will I be happy say omo benya deformities and say omo beto duane a eduro wom no mewu at the end of the day what will I gain until one person as an individual no I say prioritize one person life no than money but I say I say oh and severe by any just say youth nanka say was our areas mu na no scan omunya no it's not impacting anything in their life and yes say bi onya ye no pono wetimi set up on one business bi oye obe they are so poor and the only mansion one say oh anopa me so na me kwa kwahia me ni menya kakra me ba meto tram
but omo so na ye di police for ni soldier for no youth na wo ho na na fight omo na say won omo ni omo kun pupo
yes rebel because onu hu ni say obekwa amnam na obenya 5,000 just a day usi onjai obewu or prefer to obewu than say obeja ho ama and moreover no sikandesa so onya so nti no omu obi a onfo obi anya hwe me baby ana me kira dey say jadem e ho no omutu gold ho me kaipa enkwala ni bebre ho a obekọ no school ni da ho bi antim enkra na kra ti mi share teacher ni no asa wise scam o teacher ni say okra na ho achi o di 100 Ghana so na teacher ni agi because when yeska oh say it is card ebe omu a openi kra we akwala kra openi bu because yes we na we scan na ejan ho enti benifon kra ntimi nkasa weni enti mesese ye youth no ye realize that the na cost is going beyond just money wunya your life ya hwe ya ye be perish life scan you ntimi ndi
yo right mama me na wasi bebre true so ye be perish your life mr cheba for my eti obacho.
Good evening.
Good evening.
As I maintain count.
Oh, me I maintain count.
Okay. Maintain for some reason.
Oh, and Odia Casa. Me
okay.
Because they are too very loud.
NPP, you know, flag bearership now, umupre no race no. Yeah, chita for no. I was here, a bit open-minded. As a busuya, akonya tomu. Na busuani no, there is a busuani abeya ohene.
That's all you care about. And yeah, unko dino bakwa chichenchene se nya sumasia any da party ningu to the extent that opesa can somebody denigrate you be a person a sober sa wutia how are ya manfo bi a kasafa party members san crofo ya you ma so mu me flag bearership no and say be a bit me can for be home in as much as omunina obi abe on the favorite no so one said that depend to one obi a one announce obi a one announce one said that depend to one twitwa say me marky we say and our yeah buy into the idea say a form for na ka say ken emra ken emranti ama me pa ken me pa Bawumia me NPP ni mint me ko twe ken ati say chenchena a form for na say ken emra na momu sententia wo mu dia we must all speak against that. So mu run and there's a fair and square. Bawumia beatina. I say a crowd yeah a crabone or classroom. So be I and the findings are we say any are you are questioning Musa Dankwa you know yeah and say I then our post in our no one no mukasa on famra any so as if said the name what goes into running a poll. And yet because you pekene the attention at here e was say be e was can fa Bawumia homa Bawumia hu group ni bia no e was can ye pe Bawumia so a e was say nseme e can fa can homa ni hu group bia no tintina ni okra e was can fa ba enye na say ono tamfo kokon na tamfo ka say anka woto wonsa benkuma ka no pa na me pa e was say wonsa tamfo no I say bo mu asemi say coach be no about betting abontia beka the opponent tactics or the bar preferred tactics or the bar a bama na lucy the opponent ne cancer a mind game so opponent it make us a fast and how they assume a secret by and cannot na me pa it should tell you that we are prepared dossier of a near ma a bar
Obe you sweat ya.
yes obey you sweat here that opponent no nti o se e careful na ye kasa tia nipa ye do mo agina simpie so say ye abusuafo na ye ko yiwo mama afe na enfie na ye ti no ye beto mo so aba no o se e careful say de be ya wo kasa tia obi na o tena wo san agina platform so na say any platform be of a sort now all campaign say into abama na people will be looking at you in a way me that's past the fear.
Yo, Miss Medas say when they'll be joining here now, education come. Ye nua be ma yi na ono kasa no say ken go for no munzo amunya aboche. You shouldn't insist on said chinchin I was say your momo candidate. And now a junior so kasa abronye will cost Bawumia pa to lose the elections because ono so so on in kasa the way abronye tu na ni esi nkofo so di o matem ye say o de akọ osofo usu bempa no nye party ni no osofo usu bempa no class abronye de akọ no so eso no so enye osofo na so nye careful because I don't know so no so I imagine say ni come sure be she bia about politics ya so nyakopon crofo so wo ho ye so come de ehia nkom hyehye nkom mai akoye politics nko no so ye issue so ho ha Emmanuel so say thank you Clifford we a real man and our kasapa the case Clifford you are on point pa people like won to me abronye owusu bempa omuka ho and omu destroy MPP amanyoko no I mean people also have issues say omu ni obi ankasa na chese obi ano ehun de wo so oye Christabel say on there Ken all the way ono hu Ken boni bi obeye Ken all the way some J to say Ken na nebeko Ken na nebe wini or your time na so about 6 say we have few minutes to crack home but end up producers to my a few minutes I can say sorry say line etiko na fe dey change to me connect you but thank you so much and we yeah adom na wo say wadaje we hu because you so you're very busy because this say I call driver but when you hu adaje the whole day any prof and to me am kan hu by hopefully Wednesday obeba be kan hu we'll do another discussion but me na mo say na your friend me vim lady then the mini production team Mr. Kojo Hansen ni DOP e dey be dey akone ansa na answer any edition no ebro nyakopon ya adma Wednesday we have another edition another issue but other issues bebre koso but greater among them this issue of security so is brooding. It's also another issue a president mama so also man ni ko ho pa na said you be abo president mama but UN speech but you see speeches they say President Kufuor ba for speech or come France. Okay, Macron craba Ghana okay can be to Ghana beyond aid. We are saying now we must go beyond the West. Yeah, Casado, we must be able to go beyond just Casano and try to save Ghana from baby a Ghana one because we need something. We need say future be a deba more minus often to my preference. When I say as that's on come a high life radio, Nickens Jersey radio, and Migacho FM, NASPA radio or London, any Adamfopa media, so France and Belgium. Thank you and good night.
I have maintenance anyway, no, so no, as I toast in your but all in all,
because me minimum forces, Air Force force, or me are very meticulous. Into
yeah, that is that
because I don't care about could be sending me message or quiet him. How for say see you know, omo rush call forest him, baby I didn't crash no. I don't care about cause still lock as omo to me growing free ho and I do omo da ho omo da ho. Nti na me say me busa ne say it's there black box be in any case omo black box probably be they wouldn't know. I want to Google it and